Today's show is brought to you by Lovable.
Here we go.
The last time Magnus Carlsen was here, he was just Magnus, the Grandmaster, the highest rated player in history, the best chess player on the planet. But today, if he returns, his life is different. Just 10 days ago, Magnus and Ella became parents to a little boy. And I'm wondering if fatherhood has changed Magnus, the chess player, in any way. Well, we might just find out today. Welcome to Title Tuesday, Game Week 6.
Looks like Farouche's almost getting it done on the board. Should still be a draw. He's losing now suddenly.
He's throwing a thorn into the white side, holding on here for dear life. The nerves are kicking in.
He's playing with Ghost, afraid to commit.
Did he lose on time?
The clock is his worst enemy right now.
Oh, look at this. He's trapped his own king in the corner. The black rook is hit as well.
Whoa, is this a blunder?
Checkmate is coming.
The Premier League of Chess has reached Game Week 6. Welcome everyone to the Take studio. I'm here with your pundit, chess expert, Grandmaster David Howell. Excited for Game Week 6.
Yeah, I can't wait, Kaya. It's always tough. These 6 days in between, it just feels so long. And
I know.
We're back 6 weeks in already. Time flies.
Did you ever think that you would say that Tuesday is your favorite day of the week?
It used to be as my my favorite day as a player for a while. When I used to play Title Tuesday week in, week out. But then Title Tuesday got too strong. Then I dreaded it. But now it's much more comfortable. And yeah, it's back.
Yeah, it's back. Now, Magnus Carlsen so far has won 2 game weeks. In his absence last week, Hans Niemann took the victory. Who will win it in Game Week 6? What do you think, David?
It's going to be a toss-up, I think, between Magnus Hikaru and Hans Niemann. If those three are all on form, then it's really unpredictable. Those three, I think, do have a bit of an edge above the rest when they're at their best. But there have been some surprise winners. Alexei Sarana's in the mix. Daniel Naroditsky. We see more and more players joining each week and more players streaming, which is nice.
Maybe this is the week we will get that big surprise winner. Well, it's all about qualifying for the Esports World Cup, you guys. There are 13 spots in total, and Magnus Carlsen as the reigning champion. Top 3 players from the Speed Chess Championship and top 3 from the Chess.com Global Championship will each go directly to Riyadh next year. Every week in Title Tuesday, the top 10 players score points in the Champions Chess Tour. And at the end of the season, the top 6 players in the Champions Chess Tour qualifies for the Esports World Cup. Now, chess made its debut, as you might remember, at the EWC this summer, and Magnus Carlsen, playing for Team Liquid, took home the trophy. He won against Falcon's Alireza Firouzja in the big final, and with a prize fund of $1.5 million and a lot of drama on that stage. Chess got huge attention worldwide, and now everyone wants to qualify for next year's Esports World Cup, and Title Tuesday is simply the best way to do that. So let's take a look at the current standings in the Champions Chess Tour. Magnus Carlsen, even not playing last week, is still in the lead with 23 points. So it is the 6 spots below him, since he is already qualified, that currently is ready for EWC. Hikaru is now in there. Alireza Firouzja is in there. Hans Niemann is in there. Some big names. David, is there someone right now you're missing on this list?
Well, it would be nice to see the likes of Pragnananda, of Gukesh trying to kind of work their way into the EWC. Maybe Fabiano Caruana as well, who's done okay in one of the weeks, but in general hasn't been focusing on other stuff. We've called this the Premier League of Chess. The EWC is the Champions League. They're trying to qualify it for it. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that we'll see those top players kind of bring their A game as the weeks go on.
Definitely. All right. 10 minutes to go before Game Week 6 starts. Have players started signing up? Oh, look at that. Magnus Carlsen is ready to play game week 6. It's going to be the first time Magnus Carlsen plays as a father. And I was wondering in the top of the show, has fatherhood changed him in any way? I think we can definitely say it has. Already 10 minutes, I actually saw his name earlier than that as well. 20 minutes before it starts, Magnus has signed up. He's usually like seconds before it starts.
Yeah, or seconds after games start in over-the-board tournaments, right? Magnus is known for being fashionably late, for leaving things till the last moment. But nice to see him planning ahead.
Yeah.
Probably he's been looking forward to this for a while. Like, I can't even imagine parenthood. It's a scary thought, but the fact that Magnus kind of prioritizing Title Tuesday still shows how much he wants this. And he's going to be up against a very, very strong field here.
Look at that. Already we also see Levon Aronian. That's going to be the first time he plays in the autumn split. What can we expect from a player like Levon?
Yeah, Levon on his day, just a phenomenal player, one of the world's best for sure. He's a bit older than some of his rivals here, so mouse speed is a bit of a question, but he's been very active this year. 2025 has been a bit of a kind of golden year for Levon Aronian's career, winning freestyle, winning some other big events. But here we see the map with a lot of very strong rivals, the likes of Levon.
As always, Title Tuesday, the arena is the world, you guys. Players are logging on from every single corner of the globe. We hope to see Game Week 5 winner Hans Niemann in action. Hikaru Nakamura has played all the game weeks so far in the autumn split. Alireza Firouzja, he has 2 top 3 finishes, but still no victory. Will Game Week 6 be his Tuesday? And then, of course, several prodigies turn up for Title Tuesdays. One of them is 10-year-old Shanita Karunasana, playing from Sri Lanka. I've checked his score. He keeps scoring a lot of points, and his blitz rating, David, on chess.com is 2,700. He is 10 years old. I mean, that's just crazy.
That is wild. A lot of grandmasters would love a 2,700 blitz rating on chess.com, but the fact that he's already beating these top players, the fact he's only 10. I'm glad you had to pronounce his name, not mine, but it's definitely a name to remember for future.
Yeah, I have a feeling. Playing from Sri Lanka. And then, of course, Magnus Carlsen has signed up. He's going to play for the first time as a father. His baby son arrived 10 days ago. Ella, his wife, posted this. Beautiful picture. He didn't play last week, Magnus, of course, because it was very early into fatherhood. The baby arrived on the 27th of September. So Magnus, he's not here. He's not streaming from the Take offices today, but he is playing. But we do have a fantastic streaming guest, you guys, in the Dave Cave today. He is one of the most creative and unpredictable players in online chess. His nickname is Witty Alien Volen Dulgarov from Bulgaria. He's a candidate master known for his fearless style and the invention of the alien gambit, which is like a wild twist on the Caro-Kann, I guess. And I've met him earlier today. Huge contrast between his playing style, the crazy, the aggressive, the unpredictable playing style, and his very, very nice personality. Let's get to know Witty Alien a little bit better.
Yeah, I never ever imagined in my life I would be in the Take studio because I watch it online all the time. And I see David, I see Kaya, and I see Magnus, and now I'm here, it's a dream come true. I'm known as Witty Alien, I do a lot of content, but mainly I'm known for, I'm a FIDE content master, I'm 2100 FIDE. I'm known for playing crazy gambits and for inventing crazy gambits. I invented 2 gambits, so I'm just a gambit guy who plays aggressive chess, sacrifices a lot, and most of the time beats his chess when it makes it brilliant. Oh, it's open, okay. This is my mouse. This is where I stream for 2 days. This is my 2 monitors. This is the camera, the best camera I've ever seen in my life. This is like the best camera ever. This is Dave Cave. Yeah. I love this. The gambit that shocked the chess world. This is the first time somebody ever make a video about Alien Gambit. This is how it starts.
Aliens come to Earth. What opening do you play?
The Alien Gambit, wow! You put the pony, I call the knight pony. And after h6, that's the most popular move, then you go Alien Gambit! And it's very important to scream it, otherwise it won't work. I want to bring back romantic area to chess because everybody's so positional. I think chess needs to be entertaining because there's Fortnite, there's Netflix, there's so much entertainment in 21st century that chess needs to be entertaining and aesthetic. I like the Tau style, Michiel Tau style. You sacrifice some material and then you can checkmate with brilliant sacrifices. makes me really happy. So I think we made the brilliant here. Yes, we got the brilliant. My longest live stream has been 30 hours of constant chess, and we made 150 brilliants.
I'm quitting. It's just my health. I just messed up. Sorry, guys.
I was
Are you back now?
I'm back, yeah. Because I was just burnt out. I had migraines. I still have them actually, and I was just like, you see how many games I've played, and I just went crazy.
What a game, guys. The Martian set is super duper weak. Take me.
Do you want to see how many games I've played? That's a lot of games.
What a fantastic guy, Witty Alien, giving a heart there to his viewers. You can, of course, follow his stream. He will be playing and streaming Title Tuesday today. You played with him earlier today, David. He took you through some games with this crazy Martian Gambit, not the Alien Gambit, Martian Gambit.
Yeah, we actually played 3 games in total. The first one was the Alien Gambit. I've got some experience against that. I lost a very interesting game a few months ago, but he told me I'm not allowed to prepare. I'm not allowed to work on it in advance, and we would play. And yeah, nice to see him in the Dave Cave there. The second one, the Martian Gambit, I'd never seen before in my life, and it's probably the most crazy, scary gambit I've ever faced. Caracan is one of my favorite openings, and I'm not sure I'll be playing it against many people in the future if that's the type of suffering I have to go through. But such a nice guy, as you say, so passionate about chess, so gentle, so kind of, just so focused on improving his game. Really relatable as well. I think a lot of people out there want that romantic side of chess, the sacrifices, the brilliancies.
Exactly.
And, he brings it all.
Fantastically entertaining guy and chess player. We're gonna keep an eye on him in Title Tuesday, Game Week 6. But of course, every week we choose the big ones, the ones to really follow. Today, David, who have you picked for Game Week 6?
So today I've chosen 3 players to focus on. This is Game Week 6. We're going to start with Fabiano Caruana. I've given him an 89 score overall for his online blitz prowess. He's very good. Maybe not winning as many Title Tuesdays as you would think, being one of the best players in the world. But he's here to prove himself. Hopefully he has a good showing today. Next up, we've gone for Hikaru Nakamura, just like Fabiano, in great form. Just like Fabiano took part in the US versus India match recently. Hikaru made a lot of headlines, good and bad ones, but mostly good for his performance beating Gukesh recently, throwing that king. It went viral, and he's going to be aiming to keep up his Title Tuesday form today. And last but not least, Hans Niemann, super dangerous on his day. Last week, crushed it. He was phenomenal, almost perfect. The winner last week, and he'll aim to do the same again today.
3 Americans on this list. And speaking of the US, huge stuff happening this weekend with USA versus India, this exhibition match. And this moment is the one that has everyone talking. Hikaru picked up Gukesh's king after Hikaru beat him. Actually, the US won 5-0. They crushed India in this match. And Hikaru picking up that king, throwing it to the audience. What do you think about it, David?
I mean, it's been talked about a lot on social media. This was kind of the idea of the match. It was pure exhibition. Obviously, the games weren't rated. Obviously, it's not a world championship or anything. So I think it's okay to see some spectacle. Gukesh took it in very, very good spirits. The Indians all kind of embraced it as well. They'll have a chance for revenge. I think the match will happen next year. And although I went for 3 Americans on the players to watch, I'm hoping to pick 3 Indians maybe next time if they can up their game this week.
Exactly. And sign up. We still want to see Gukesh. We still want to see Prague. We do see Hikaru on that list. Now, there's been a lot of noise for him after this incident. He's received a lot of love, but also a lot of hate for it. Do you think it affects him?
I mean, it would affect most humans, but Hikaru's never been fully human. He's never been a mere mortal. He's gone through the FIDE stuff recently, FIDE changing rules, mainly because of his decisions. Now, with the king throwing, it's a lot. I think most people would struggle, but we'll find out this week. He's been phenomenal lately, and if he does well, if he wins it again, it shows he only uses these things as inspiration.
Yeah. 20 seconds until Game Week 6 start. Will it be Magnus today? Will it be Hikaru? Will it be Alireza Firouzja? Will it be Hans Niemann? Will it be an underdog who takes the victory today. The Premier League is about to start. Again, another Tuesday. And Title Tuesday is played across 3 splits, the autumn, the winter, and the spring split. And today we kick off Game Week 6 in the autumn split. Each game week has 13 game weeks, and each Tuesday has 11 rounds of Blitz chess with the infamous 5 minutes on the clock, no increment whatsoever. The winner scores 10 points in the Champions Chester. All these players fighting to qualify for next year's Esports World Cup. We have the pairings coming up. Hikaru is up here. I'm looking for Magnus. Magnus against Jacobian in the first round. All right, that's going to be a good one.
That's going to be a good one. I believe there's a Grandmaster called Jacobian, but I don't think that is him. Menua Jacobian is not someone I know so well. Magnus is playing. He's not invisible. Magnus Carlsen. It's not one of his superpowers. He's not playing from the Take office this week at home with his family, but he is playing today, and it looks like he's gone for the London system. The White Bishop coming out very early. That indicates the London system. Quick trade of pawns, probably a quick trade of queens as well, and I don't want to say that being a father has affected Magnus, but this is maybe less aggressive than his normal openings in the early rounds of Title Tuesday.
And you are correct. It's not the Grandmaster Aram Jacobian. It is Menua Jacobian, a 17-year-old from Armenia, rated 2387 on FIDE, a FIDE master. Let's see if he can pose some trouble to Magnus Carlsen, the father playing for the first time. As a father today, it's going to be so cool to see how Magnus Carlsen does. Has it affected him at all? Is he getting enough sleep to play good chess? We're going to find out today, you guys.
Yeah, very quick start from Magnus. We have to give him credit there. On the clock, he's already 40 seconds ahead. We talk about the Magnus effect. Often he does scare his opponents into spending a bit more time than they normally would. Here, though, it's mainly because black lacks a plan. The white bishops cut across the board. If I can do my arrows correctly, there we go. The white bishop's there, staring at both flanks. So no matter where the black king goes, no matter which side it castles, it will come under some potential pressure long term. If you go kingside too soon, Magnus would not hesitate in throwing the h-pawn forward and to try and go onto the attack. You've got to play quickly against the top players in the world. And there we go. Jacobian trades off the queens. We're in a queenless middle game here. But this is something Magnus is going to love. Eval Bar says better. Position shows very nice pawn placement, piece placement. Those black knights are a bit silly right now. Magnus Carlsen in the driver's seat.
Jacobian is named Wise Guy on chess.com. His blitz rating is almost 2,700. He's played 3 Title Tuesdays so far. Always scores, around 5-6 points. And there we have him showing up on the camera. Let's see if we can also get a camera on Magnus Carlsen, who is better already here in round 1.
He's better. He's already making his move. He's created a really nasty threat. The knight might still jump into that square. Not quite the alien gambit. A bit too late for that. But the white knight did end up getting traded off. The Eval Bar isn't so sure. Suddenly 2 bishops against 2 knights. This bishop especially lacking some scope. So interesting that Jacobian is willing to open up the position. You shouldn't do that against bishops normally. And that's why we see the bar slide. Magnus might in the near future push this pawn, bring his bishop up to give some nasty checks. The black king out in the open is a huge, huge target. And it does feel like Magnus Carlsen has better chances, especially with the clock. But at least Jacobian's fighting well here.
No queens on this board. Magnus getting this game into exactly where he wants it.
Yeah, Magnus, we know his track record of endgames, the best endgame player of all time. And traditionally, as players get older, they get even better at endgames, which is a scary thought, seeing as Magnus still has plenty of years ahead. As the Black Knight jumps, there is a bit of a threat to capture this bishop, something Magnus will want to avoid. There we go. And whoa, suddenly there was a missed tactic for one move. Magnus did blunder. Black could have traded off rooks, and there was a nasty, nasty knight check, forking the king and the bishop in the corner over there. So missed opportunity for Jacobian, but he's fighting so well. Magnus taking his eye off the ball just for one very brief moment. But is that going to be the final chance Jacobian gets in this game?
Last week, when Magnus Carlsen didn't play, it was Hans Niemann who took the Title Tuesday victory. Do you think that was annoying for Magnus Carlsen to see?
Maybe. I mean, Magnus, he probably had other things on his mind as well. So, yeah, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But definitely, he gets FOMO. He's talked about it before. The reason he loves Title Tuesday is because he gets the top competition. He gets to challenge, take down his rivals. And he definitely didn't like seeing Hans win that one. In the meantime, one of the white bishops has disappeared. This is very, very good news for Jacobian. The clock, though, tells a different story. Magnus is threatening to slide his rook across. There's one big target, this backward pawn. And that could become a bit of an Achilles heel for Jacobian here. It's going to be tough to defend that one. There we go. Magnus does slide across. If the black rook does the same and defends, Magnus has ideas of pushing pawns, kicking away the black knight. This looks very, very strong now, hitting this knight off a very comfortable square. Magnus is going to do the same, different order, and Magnus has forced the opponent's knight off to the edge. That is not good news for black at all. And it's all about whether the black king can survive now. The bishop drops back with a check, and next move he's going to push this one forward. It looks like Magnus is getting a bit of an advantage now. He's going to break the black center. Jacobian struggling on both the board and the clock.
Hikaru Nakamura is in a winning position in his game in round one. Jan Nepomniachtchi is also playing. We have all the big ones here in game week 6. His position is so far balanced. And then Ali Reza Firouzja has the black pieces here in round one. And he is struggling. His opponent is massively better. And that would be a huge upset to see Ali Reza lose it in round one. Fabiano Caruana is playing today. His game is balanced right now. Jan-Christoph Duda is playing today. I mean, so many of the big guns. I think I also saw Hans Niemann here playing Title Tuesday, game week 6. Magnus Carlsen is now massively better. Is that pawn going to go all the way, David?
It is all about that pawn. Good spot there. It's pretty much just immobilizing a big piece for black. It's the black rook in front of it, which can never, ever move. This black rook now is stuck for eternity. You're essentially playing a piece down. Magnus might just try to simplify this as he aims to potentially just take this knight, step forward with his king, and the white king is going to be the piece potentially that breaks the blockade later. There we go. Magnus advances the king already. The black king does the same, but the black king is cut off onto the wrong side of the board. Wouldn't be shocked if Magnus takes this knight now, takes the pawn in the center. Later on, tries to find a way in with his king to kick away the rook. That would spell the beginning of the end for Jacobian. Magnus just needs to work out the details, just needs to make sure there's no counterplay, that the king doesn't step on any landmines on its path forward as he keeps advancing with that king. Very, very consistent play by Magnus Carlsen. Typical endgames as well for everyone at home. Remember, kings are such an important piece in the endgame. They rarely get checkmated since the opponent doesn't have any pieces left. And there we go, the bar slides the whole way, and it's massively better now, almost winning for Magnus Carlsen. One more square, he's going to break the blockade, and that white pawn is going to have a clear path through.
It's looking fantastic for Magnus Carlsen. This is round one in game week 6. Magnus missed last week because of the birth of his baby boy. He is back, and he wants to make a comeback with a victory in Title Tuesday. It's going to be a good start for him. Massively better here in round one.
Yeah, Magnus just winning here. He's doing some final calculations. He's got nearly 2 minutes in the bank, but there we go. This black rook is actually trapped now. No way to escape. The white bishop cuts across this diagonal as well. Black will be forced to give up everything for this white pawn, emerge a piece down. But at the very end, white's extra bishop will decide this game. Jacobian is just pondering whether to fight on, whether to resign. He does slide his rook across. Actually, that's very cunning, utilizing a pin on the white pawn, but this will not get the job done. Magnus gives another check to the black king. We'll see a trade of rooks, and it's going to be the same story as before. The white king just needs to step forward now, break the pin, and Magnus is going to get the job done. He actually steps back. Same thing. Jacobian under 20 seconds. The clock is not even the most important factor here, but it might be the one that forces Jacobian to resign. And there we go. Magnus wins his first game as a dad.
Oh, that's true. First ever victory in Title Tuesday for the father, Magnus Carlsen. Congratulations to him. This is still round one. Oh, and an upset here. Magsudlu loses here to a FIDE master. All right, big upset. And it looks like he might have lost on the clock.
Yeah. Iran versus Iran, and it was the underdog, the FM, that won that game. Magsudlu, one of the best players in the world on his day, off to a tough start. It looks like Firouzja, in the meantime, turned things around. On board 2, we mentioned that one earlier. Most games are going according to seeding other than that Magsudlu battle.
Yeah, huge upset there for Magsudlu. This one is still happening. We have FIDE master Celebrada against Minle. And oh, that would be another upset. Is Minlay about to lose this?
It does look very bad for black. If you do a quick pawn count, it shows that black is a pawn down. Not just any old pawn either. The white pawn is 2 squares away from touchdown. If you can somehow keep the queens on and force that pawn through, it's over. The clock, though, for the Canadian ticking down. Minlay is super speedy on the mouse. Blitz bullet specialist. Here we go. Trade of queens, trade of pawns. Can the black knight dance its way back to prevent the white king from doing any damage? There we go. The blockade is kept. The king is hunting these pawns now. Can you stop them? The clock has turned red for Minlay. The Vietnamese grandmaster in big, big trouble. Can he trade off pawns? Can he get this game down to a draw? He's forced the white bishop away. This game potentially turning, but it's now down to the D pawn that's running forward. That's a check. 3 seconds for black. The king steps back. 8 seconds for white should be enough. He can give some checks. He can push his pawns forward. 4 extra pawns for white. The clock now, it's all about the pre-moves. 1 second for black. He's down to under 1 second. Can he hold it? It's a few checks. The queen appears. It's going to be checkmate. Or will the clock decide? They're both down to almost 0. Who's going to win that? And Calaberta wins on time.
Huge drama on this board and those clogs. Minlay is taken down in round 1. Timur Calaberta from Canada, a 19-year-old FIDE master, makes a huge upset in round 1. That's going to be massive for the young Canadian. Congratulations to him. Max Zodlo also took a loss, the Grandmaster, in round 1. Other than that, it looks like the big ones have scored their first points, and round 2 is about to start. Let's jump into this one. We're going to check in with Hikaru Nakamura. He's now with the black pieces, a win for him in the first round. What are we seeing on this board?
Yeah, this opening is very interesting. This is Hikaru now trying to trade off light squared bishops. He's playing a hybrid. It's a cross between the modern defense and the Caro-Kann defense. That means black played a very early g6, but also played these typical Caro-Kann defense moves. It's a light squared strategy for Hikaru Nakamura here with black. He just wants to prolong this game. It's very, very blocked right now, but black does have access to a pawn break on one side, maybe a pawn break on the other side. Hikaru has done this type of thing many, many times before. This is a sign that he shows a lot of respect to what is probably a young opponent, and he wants to keep the game going, keep maybe a bit more time on the clock, use his strategic understanding, his experience as weapons a bit later on in the game.
What makes you say you think it's a young opponent?
This is how Hikaru plays against young players.
Okay.
Anti-young player chess.
You are completely correct, David. This is Syed Musavifar from Iran. He is 15 years old, a FIDE master. He's been playing a lot of Title Tuesdays for game weeks already. His nickname on chess.com is Funny Man. All right, we love it. Rated 2744 on Chess.com. And here he is up against Hikaru, who did score 7 points, ended up in 60th place in game week 4. Someone who potentially could cause an upset. He is better on the bar.
Yeah, and the type of player who very much gave Hikaru problems in the first 3 game weeks. And this autumn split, Hikaru lost to a couple of IMs. He lost to some very dangerous players who weren't afraid to attack him. Look at that. The black king has committed itself. Now pawns are throwing themselves forward towards that black king. Potentially this knight, which looks nice and pretty right now, could get kicked away as well, though that would come at the cost of opening up his own king here with the white pieces. So Hikaru's got to be pretty happy, but you can never completely relax against such young players who are very aggressive, who have targets. And yeah, Hikaru, he'll be hoping to at least keep enough control. There we go. Keep everything blocked for as long as possible in this game.
After a slow start to the autumn split, Hikaru Nakamura won game week 4, scoring 10 points. He came in 2nd place last week, losing only to Hans Niemann. He really has woken up the Title Tuesday beast, Hikaru Nakamura, looking to win it again today. But this time, we have, for the first time in the autumn split, both Hikaru, Magnus, Hans, Ali Reza, Jan Nepomniachtchi, they're all here today. This must be the toughest Title Tuesday game week so far in the autumn split.
Yeah, some real beasts here. They're all turning up for Title Tuesday. They all want to win it. They all want to get into the Esports World Cup. And for the first time in this game, Hikaru Nakamura is better. Look at this knight. This knight is a beast. That's what gives Hikaru the advantage. It can trade off for a bishop anytime it wants. It also puts some nice pressure on some of the pawns near the white king. It's the type of position that you just feel uncomfortable with white. That is why Hikaru is so far ahead on the clock. He plays these types of positions day in, day out. He wins them in his sleep sometimes. And yes, white is trying to attack. Black has some weaknesses too, but those can be easily held, easily defended. The black rook can come and keep its king company here. Hikaru looking up. That means he's calculating normally, as he might be pondering whether to trade off in the center. He could take some knights off the board. He can start pushing forward, creating his own attack here. First real-time Hikaru is thinking in this game, but normally that means he's about to embark on a very forcing, very strong sequence.
Excited to see so many of you joining in on YouTube and Twitch today. Send us your comments, questions, if you do have any for David. I'll keep an eye on the YouTube and Twitch chats on all the channels that we are showing this broadcast.
Wow, and just as I said, Hikaru was better for the first time in this game. Suddenly, he also makes a mistake, and now white is the one with the advantage. Yes, that's a very scary knight jump, the black knight attacking this white rook, but it can simply move right now. You can also take this knight off, but the black pawn just replaces it. I think white is going to move the rook away. Suddenly, Hikaru might find himself a bit blocked on the king side, where the white king sits, as it might be the black king that's the weaker of the two. We'll get Hikaru back in a moment, but he might be the one staring down the pressure of this pawn. And there we see his young opponent briefly make an appearance, as Hikaru looks confident still. The rook does indeed move, but the bar slides with it. And this is the type of position. It's going to swing left, right, the eval bar. It's just about who makes the final mistake. Very, very tense. And it is a case of Hikaru definitely trying to amp up that pressure, force difficult decisions, and gain time on the clock. This last move, a mistake though, because white's rook now would be trapped if it takes this pawn. If the white rook is forced back, Hikaru has all the momentum.
Will it be a good start for Hikaru Nakamura? He won in round one. This is round two. Magnus Carlsen also won in the first round, but in his game in round two, it's balanced. All right. Jan Nepomniachtchi is in a winning position. And some big matchups. Alireza Firouzja is massively better in his round two game.
Yeah, ultimately the favorites, they tend to do quite well in the first 4 rounds, and then they meet equivalent opposition, then they meet other GMs for the rest of the event. That's when things get very interesting. But in the meantime, this position, very interesting only for Hikaru. His opponent's struggling due to the power of these two highlighted pieces. The black rook, the black knight, they're sitting in the white half of the board, and they can never, ever be removed. Both on outposts, both with huge pressure. This pawn is a backward pawn, always a target. The black bishop retreating, that's a bit mysterious. But potentially Hikaru wants to open up the lines around the white king now. The white knight retreating. Hikaru just wants to create more pressure. There we go. The bishop retreat has its point revealed now. That challenge is aimed at deflecting this white pawn. If it disappears, the cover around the white king also starts to disappear. And Hikaru bobbing his head there, looks confident, chatting away with his stream. He knows he's getting closer, especially on the clock here. You cannot be a minute and a half down against Hikaru Nakamura. I've been there myself so many times. He will turn the screw. He will change the pace at a moment that's really uncomfortable for you. The knight attacks the black queen, which now lines up against the white king. Watch out. There's going to be some clearance sacrifices there. Hikaru Nakamura is so close now. The eval bar says big, big advantage. Still looking for the knockout blow. Hikaru can trade off knights if he wants. He can drive that knight closer towards the white king. So many good options here for him. He goes back into calculation mode, using his time advantage. 2 minutes for Hikaru. Even with 1 minute here, he'd feel very confident as he drops his bishop back. Not the best according to the eval bar.
Ooh.
Allowing a knight trade. And maybe this is the move that Hikaru had missed. Attacking this pawn now. There are still targets. That knight trade could have been done in better circumstances for Hikaru. He's got half an eye on the clock, though. He drops his bishop back. He's lining up on this diagonal. That's an open line. The white king would be checkmated. That is prevented. Musaviva. I'll let you pronounce it next time, Kaya. But he's fighting so well until this last move. We've just seen the first blunder as the black rook finally gets in and starts collecting all the pawns. The black queen now lining up. We're going to see Hikaru Nakamura in an endgame. 1 or 2 pawns to the good. He should now be winning. Commentator's curse. Just as I was praising his defense, the player with the white pieces finally making a blunder.
But only 20 seconds on his clock. I was going to say that this must be the situations where Hikaru doesn't care about the bar, even if he cannot see it. When the clock ticks down for his opponent, he's just confident. He knows he can win it.
Yeah, Hikaru knows. He's been there so many times. He's not been playing perfect chess, but that isn't his plan anyway. He likes playing moves and positions that are good enough to get the job done. Earlier, there was a hand-on-heads moment for Hikaru Nakamura. He missed a move by his opponent, but now he's just collecting all the pawns. It's 4 versus 2, 2-pawn advantage. The black king will start advancing. This position is totally winning for Hikaru Nakamura. As the white clock goes red, he tries to trade off rooks. Rejected, but there we go. Hikaru wins by resignation in the endgame. It was never really in doubt.
Round 2, 2 points for Hikaru Nakamura. He is playing game week 6. He's played all game weeks so far in the autumn split. He's had 2 really good game weeks in a row. And will it be another one today? A win. Bopping his head. He is happy. Hikaru has been through a lot of heat over the last few days after the US crushed India in their national match, and Hikaru throwing Gukesh's king into the audience. Got a lot of people reacting, but he's also receiving a lot of support. We do see Alireza Firouzja has also won his round 2 game, another one also for Magnus Maxim Vachier-Lagrave, a win for him. Nepo has won his game. Hans Niemann also on 2 out of 2. No huge shocks here for Fabiano Caruana, another win for him. And Fabi, I mean, he's playing really good in Title Tuesday. He's scoring a lot of points. Yeah. He's proving that he also has something to do in this online blitz format.
Exactly. Just speed chess in general, Fabi's leveled up just incredibly in the last 2 years alone. He used to be targeted by some of the top players for his kind of perceived lack of blitz skills, but he recently won the Grand Chess Tour in Brazil just last week, flew immediately to Texas, beat Arjun Erigaisi, crushed Arjun Erigaisi there. And I think if it wasn't for Magnus, if it wasn't for Hikaru, we would see Fabi winning many, many of these Title Tuesdays. So it's just breaking through that kind of dominance of the speed kings he's up against.
Exactly. He is on 2 out of 2. Fabiano Caruana, he scored 8.5 points in game week 4 last week. Would you be shocked to see him win Title Tuesday?
No. I would love it. I'm a big fan of Fabiano. I'm also a big fan of Witty Alien, who's got his head in his hands right now after a tough round 2. He ended up losing that game, but he had a promising position earlier. I think that's why he's so devastated right now.
That's 2 losses in a row for our streaming guest, the Witty Alien. A fantastic guy and such an entertaining streamer. I really urge you guys to check that out. Let's give him some love. Let's hope he can turn it around. We don't want to see any rage quits or anything like that. We really want to see Witty Alien do good in Title Tuesday Game Week 6. And
he's got the support of Magnus and Hikaru,
exactly.
The player cards just behind him, so hopefully that will inspire him in the rest of the game.
This is round 3, just starting. We're going to follow Alireza Firouzja's game here. We have to check in with him as well. I think maybe he's streaming today. He's got the black pieces here against Mikalian. And what are we seeing on this board?
Yeah, we're seeing the infamous double fianchetto. That means the black bishops are poised on the longest possible diagonals. They're trying to cut across the board. White is super solid. This is kind of a hybrid between a King's Indian, Queen's Indian. Never sure exactly what to call it. You can get this position by so many different move orders, but ultimately, it does look like Firouzja is slightly worse. That's because White controls the key in the center. Everything's covered. It's all about this pawn, which is pinned right now, but White has protected everything, and any break in the center, any simplifications will give White a bit of a space advantage in the future. There we see... I'm not sure that's Firouzja's opponent. We'll get his real opponent up in a moment, but it is a level type of position, but one that could go either way, depending on the next few moves.
Arman Mikhailian from Armenia. He is a grandmaster, a very strong player, currently with a FIDE rating of 2,500, 29 years old. Peaceful Warrior is his nickname on Chess.com. Do you think that reflects his style?
Well, if we see a draw in this game, then we can say that it was very peaceful despite the fight. And there we do see Mikhailian as, he's a very experienced grandmaster. Like you say, 29, but he's played some big, big tournaments. I've seen him take down some top grandmasters on his day. But this is an interesting position. Firouzja's last move, very, very combative. He's hoping for a capture in the center because once the dust settles, the black rook would have been staring down the white queen. That was very, very uncomfortable. And a position that was not great for Firouzja just 2 moves ago has suddenly turned in his favor. There we see him streaming, talking on his channel as the black bishop moves. It was under fire, attacking this pawn. It's all about the bishops. And ooh, looks like a blunder from Mikhailian. Alireza Firouzja now with a almost decisive advantage after this move. He finds the key. He now breaks the connection between the white queen and its knight. It's all about this diagonal. And you cannot come forward and take this pawn as black would simply step forward. The black bishop would win the knight next move. There would be a deadly, deadly pin. Firouzja, in the space of 3-4 moves, he's gone from a level position to a totally winning one.
Alireza Firouzja has played 4 game weeks so far in the autumn split. He's got a 3rd place, he's got a 2nd place, but he's still trying to get that 1st place. Maybe that is today. He is on 2 out of 2 points so far. Historically, Alireza has won Title Tuesday 19 times, 20 2nd places, 8 3rd places. He is one of the very best Title Tuesday players in the world.
Yeah, he loves Blitz. He always has done. Firouzja was one of those young generation who grew up just playing Blitz online. That's how he trained. That's how he improved. And that's how he got to number 2 in the world at his peak. And here we see him trading off pieces happily. He's still got a huge advantage with black because he's up a pawn. And these 2 pawns are actually going to totally cut the board in half. White's only hope now is to push the A pawn forward. That is a pass pawn, a potential weapon for later. But the white bishop is locked out. It's staring against a brick wall in the center as the white rook and queen step forward. Those look scary, but they're not actually threatening anything. So Firouzja does have a few moves to get organized, to use his extra pawn advantage, and to use his extra minute advantage.
I was going to say 7th heaven, and to have both a rook and a queen on that rank, and still no hope for Mikhailian.
Yeah, no targets. That's the problem. And right now, black is about to win another pawn. Mikhailian maybe missed the fact that black rook could slide across. It's a 2-pawn advantage. This one has just been defended. And if Alireza can trade queens, it's over. It's going to be slow but steady progress. Opposite color bishops, that if he gets an attack, that is the one hope for Mikhailian here against the black king. But black is so rock solid right now. The black rook going back, that is a sign that Firouzja knows what he's doing. And next move, I'm sure he's going to, or in the next few turns, he's going to block any pawn advances for white. Maybe try and get the queens off. This should be almost game over. Mikhailian trying some last tricks on that 7th rank. The white queen stepping forward here, but still no threats for white. And still full control for Firouzja. It does feel like he's due a victory. He's due a Title Tuesday win. He's so prolific, so consistent at this time format. Despite his aggressive style, he always seems to get the job done against anyone who isn't named Magnus or Hikaru.
Both queens still on this board, though, so can stuff still happen in this game?
Yeah, as long as the queens remain, that gives white a little bit of hope. A queen trade, black wins. It's as simple as that, since black has 2 extra pawns and they will start marching forward in the center. So Firouzja would love to trade queens. He's been chasing the white queen around. He's trying to trap her here. He's there we go, so consistent, as I mentioned. He's got a plan. Queen trade, he's going to stick to it till the bitter, bitter end. Look at that white queen, struggling for squares now. Slides across, and whoop. The eval bar slightly confused there, saying black is totally winning now. Is there a knockout blow? Is it just a simple rook trade? Does the black rook slide across, get all the rooks off the board? Is that the winning idea? Alireza Firouzja blocks the kingside first. Maybe getting a bit nervous though, not finding the direct win. He's still tied up, the black rook's still passive. The white pieces have got a Alekine's gun formation now, named after a former world champion, but they're not targeting anything. That is the big problem. Mikhailian doing very well here at stopping Fallujah from having any easy moves. Although this rook trade is going to help a lot, and the bar slides all the way to black side yet again. Still looking good for black.
Alireza Fallujah is looking for 3 out of 3 here in game week 6, but it's a tough game week so far. The Top Guns, they keep winning. Jan Nepomniachtchi now in a big battle against Jumabayev here in round 3. Magnus Carlsen is also playing. And Levon Aronian, he's on 2 out of 2, and he's in a winning position in round 3.
And that's the thing about Title Tuesday. There's always this silent pressure of knowing your rivals are always going to win. You know that someone is going to be on 100%, whether it's Magnus, Hikaru, Hans Niemann. So you feel that you need to kind of put your foot on the pedal and keep going. That looked like a bit of a celebration there from Fallujah. Not too premature either, because the Black Bishop is about to arrive on a newly vacated square. He gave up one of his extra pawns. He keeps the rooks on this time, and no more trades. Fallujah is going for the base of the white pawn chain. That is a clear target. No real way to defend it for white. The bishop is going to come in. And, okay, he does find a very passive defense there. But black wins a second pawn. Back to the 2-pawn advantage. And sooner or later, the pawn storm will arrive. Fallujah just putting the final touches on this beautiful winning position.
Magnus Carlsen has won in round 3. So has Hikaru Nakamura. But an upset. Maxime Vagier-Lagrave. A loss for him against Barath. And here we are. It's a win for Alireza Fallujah. Safe and sound.
Safe and sound. Again, never really in doubt. He got the pawn advantage, turned it into a 2-pawn advantage. 3 pawns in the final position as he converted that very nicely. We jump to Fabiano Caruana in a very interesting endgame. 2 rooks each, a knight each. He's playing a very tricky, strong Spanish Grandmaster. It feels like this game could be a draw if Fabiano wants it. He can give some knight checks and probably force it now. But does he gamble? The clocks say that he should play on Fabiano. There's tension against his king, though. He might be scared of getting checkmated. Do or die time. Do you bail out with a draw, or do you fight on? Fabiano with a dilemma ahead.
Some good news. Witty Alien has made a comeback. He won his game in round 3 with the black pieces. Someone else who won in round 3, Simon Williams, Ginger GM. He's won 2 games so far today, lost 1. Oh, what's happening here?
And we've just seen a blunder from Fabiano. He forgot that there were knight forks in the air. There was a discover check against the white king. Suddenly, it's rook and knight versus 2 rooks. Fabiano's down the exchange, rook for knight. He's playing for miracles here. He needs a helping hand from the opponent. Ooh, that's a very odd decision, though. Giving away black's pawn. That black pawn was a potential queen, a potential winner. His opponent's lower on time. His opponent's fighting for the draw now. Fabi is just trying to flag his opponent. There we see him appear. The black clock goes red. 10 seconds has been hit. It's going to be so difficult to swap off all the pieces, though. This is a great chance for Fabiano. He gets his king out of there, but now another pawn drops. Fabi, he's going to keep checking. He's just trying to keep this game alive. 5 seconds for black. It's winning now for black. There we go. Suddenly Fabiano, head and hands. He knows he's blundered. He knows he's losing, but only 2 seconds for black. The clock is going to decide this game. The black king, the white knight drops even, and there we go. And Fabiano wins with 1 piece remaining.
Alonso loses on the clock. He wins on the board, but he loses on the clock. Fabiano Caruana takes the win with the white pieces. Did he get lucky not to lose that one?
That was a mixture of luck and kind of educated gambling there. He knew that he was not playing the best moves, Fabiano, but he was only playing for the clock. Just to point out, he was 1 move away, Alonso, there, from taking Fabiano's last piece. If he had 0.1 more seconds, he would have taken the white rook and the game would have been declared a draw. Fabiano would not have had enough pieces to give checkmate. But that's what happens in no increment blitz chess.
Alvar Alonso from Spain, so close to a victory against Fabiano Caruana, but the clock got in the way. There's no increment in Title Tuesday, you guys. That means stuff like this happens. Flagging and a win for Fabiano Caruana. Round 4 is about to start. See if we have some. Naroditsky versus Magnus Carlsen. Big one. We're definitely going to follow that game. The American Daniel Naroditsky, the streamer, the great chess player, against Magnus Carlsen, the Grandmaster, the highest rated player of all time, the father. he has the black pieces in this one.
Yeah, two very multi-talented players here. Magnus starting with the Sicilian defense. That normally shows that he's up for a real scrap, a real fight. These two have a lot of history. They've played hundreds of bullet games against each other, some blitz games too. Daniel Naroditsky, popular commentator, chess personality. He's played the open Sicilian now, bringing all of his pieces out. This is a very old variation, actually, where you trade off pieces with white, you get ready to push your pawn forward in the center and create a nice square for your pieces. Often the white queen comes out as well in the near future to attack loose pawns. Naroditsky using some opening theory here to get Magnus into a difficult to win middle game, I'm going to say. Nice start for Daniel Naroditsky here, I would say, with the white pieces.
Daniel Naroditsky, of course, from the US. He is 30 years old, a grandmaster that has become known over the last few years, mostly for commentating, for streaming. He has 3 points in the Champions Chess Tour. He scored a 5th place in Gameweek 4. 9 points there, and definitely someone who can win Title Tuesday. He's done that 4 times, looking for his 5th Title Tuesday victory, but it's going to be super tough to get that today because all the top guys have signed up. All the top guys are playing. Magnus is one of them.
Yeah, but this format does suit Naroditsky on paper, at least. He is the type of player who will not be afraid to go for the clock, go for time, super quick on the mouse. Very, very practical. He's got lots of tricks up his sleeve. He's really going for Magnus here as well. Rook takes knight is a potential sacrifice. If Witty Alien were playing, he would no doubt go for that in the near future, just to try and get at the black king, which is stuck in no man's land. It's stuck in two minds. If it castles towards this flank, you're only finding yourself castling into the storm, into the firing line. If you go the other way, you're so open. You lack protection. Magnus, what is he going to do? He needs the queens off this board. But Daniel Naroditsky is not going to make it easy for him. The eval bar says level, but in practical terms, this is such a nice position to play for white, as long as the queens remain on. A queen trade, just like earlier, and this could turn. Although a queen trade now would come at the cost of a pawn for black, and he doesn't go for it. If the white rook had taken a pawn, the black knight would have stepped back and kept it locked in. That would have been a blunder for Naroditsky. Instead, the queens do come off, and now Magnus, using his rook to defend a pawn, will put his king in the center and try to outplay Naroditsky in an endgame.
Both of these players looking to go up to 4 out of 4. Hans Niemann is already in a winning position in round 4, but he lost in round 3. Hans Niemann, he has already taken a loss this week. He won game week 5. What will happen to Hans Niemann in game week 6? Magnus Carlsen is definitely hungry to win game week 6 and take his first Title Tuesday victory for his little son, born on September 27th.
Ooh, and a flashy move just as we jump back into the chess. This is not a blunder, it's not a mouse slip, it is a knight sacrifice. But if the knight is taken by a pawn, the white pawn will recapture, and there'll be a discovered check against the black king. That would give the white pawn time to not only take that pawn, but take the bishop afterwards. And that would lead to a very level-looking endgame. This knight is menacing, it's threatening some forks, it's threatening this pawn as well. So Magnus might be inclined to take that piece off the board. You don't want to blunder knight forks. That's the rule. That's rule 101 of blitz chess. Knights are so tricky. And there's another fork over on this side as well. Knight into this square with a check would profit from a pin against the black rook. Magnus might just be forced to take this knight off, maybe even with the bishop. But that's a beautiful move from Naroditsky. That has slowed Magnus right down and asked some very difficult questions.
These two have played a lot against each other online, correct, David?
So many times. I've lost count. During the pandemic, I pretty much spent 6 months watching these guys play bullet every night. Oh, and it's a blunder from Magnus Carlsen. Just as we said it, I mentioned that was a fork against the king and against the rook due to a pin. Magnus's first blunder as a father. And Naroditsky, we talked about how they've played a lot. He has beaten Magnus a lot in bullet. But now he needs to do it again. He should be getting this job done. He's got so much time, under 3 minutes now. Should be enough. Rook versus bishop, that is the material advantage for him. But there are open lines, that's the key. The white rook is going to infiltrate soon. And Magnus is in huge trouble.
What is the big issue for Magnus right now?
It's material. His bishop, long-term, will not compete against a white rook. If the black rook ever gets traded for one of white's rooks, it's going to be easy for Magnus. He'll use his rook to gobble up all the black pawns. So for Magnus, it's keeping his rook on the board, keeping all his pawns protected, trying to keep the white rooks out. But all of those together, it's going to be so tough. So tough. If anyone can do it, it's Magnus Carlsen. But I think Naroditsky wins this 9 times out of 10.
It's trouble for Magnus Carlsen here in round 4. Daniel Naroditsky right now looking like the one who will go up to 4 out of 4. Hikaru Nakamura also has that chance. He is massively better right now with the black pieces in his game. Alireza Firouzja in a winning position with the white pieces. Magnus Carlsen, ooh, can he afford to lose this one? He will fall behind. Trouble for the world number 1.
Big trouble. Magnus has lost another pawn. The white rook is attacked, but it can go and grab this pawn on the edge of the board. He does something else here, Naroditsky. He's trying to catch the black bishop in a pin. So I'm now expecting him to move his king forward, not allow any checks from the black rook. And as we mentioned, a rook trade will be fatal for black. Magnus now in huge trouble. The white king does indeed move. The problem is this bishop is stuck. It's going to get hit. It will have to give way, and a rook trade is almost guaranteed. There we go. Rook's coming off the board. Magnus relying on a fortress. We know what he thinks about those, but it's not going to be enough. There's too many pawns on this board for black to have any real hope of saving this game. The white pawns are going to start advancing as well, create a passed pawn. The black bishop is so one-dimensional. The white rook is so flexible, versatile.
I see the chat speculating if it was a mouse slip by Magnus, the blunder.
No, I don't think so, unfortunately. He moved his rook, which dealt with one threat. It dealt with 2 threats, actually. It protected a pawn, got out of one fork. He just didn't look at the other fork on the other side of the board. As normally, I like to give the benefit of the doubt to these top players, but I do think that was just a moment of blindness by Magnus, and there we go. It is a result. Daniel Naroditsky takes down the world number 1.
Wow. That's a devastating defeat for Magnus Carlsen, losing in round 4. But for Daniel Naroditsky, the American goes up to 4 out of 4 in a super tough Title Tuesday Game Week 6 with all the top guns. He's now already taken down Magnus Carlsen. All right, this is still round 4. Andrejkin here is up against Drozdovsky. A big battle between 2 great players.
Yeah, wow, this is huge trouble for Dmitry Andrejkin. He's facing a queen that's marauding around the board. That's a check. She actually gives herself up, as he would have been 3 pawns up in the endgame there. Drozdovsky takes down a player. He's becoming a bit of a giant slayer. He did the same just last week, taking down some really strong GMs. And talking of GMs in trouble, Jan Nepomniachtchi here has been surviving by the skin of his teeth into this endgame. He was dead lost just 5 or 6 moves ago. Now it's a level endgame, but 1 minute each on the clock. Nepomniachtchi trying to hold this one, maybe trying to flag his opponent.
It's so great to see Jan Nepomniachtchi now featuring in Title Tuesday. He didn't play during the Grand Swiss, but here he is. And he is someone we know can be fantastic in online blitz chess. With the black pieces here and less than a minute on the clock for both players, they agree on a draw. Yeah,
there we go. A repetition of moves at the end. I think Nepomniachtchi, that's a great result for him. He was a bit lower on the clock, and he was dead lost most of the game. For Jules Moussard, the French Grandmaster, maybe he could have pressed harder. Maybe he could have gone for more.
We see Alireza Firouzja has won his round 4 game. That means Alireza is on 4 out of 4, together with Drigulov, Drozdovsky, Naroditsky, and Tong.
Ooh, I just saw Fabiano Caruana in big trouble. Just as I clicked on that game, his opponent pre-moved under the piece. So Caruana, he actually, his opponent had an extra knight. Benjamin Bock, a very famous streamer, commentator sometimes, and instead, Fabio's now completely winning. Luck favors the brave, and this pawn should get the job done. Fabi, the black knight was on this square, and his opponent missed that the white bishop could step back and take it just a few moves before we jumped in, and now it's going to be enough for him to win. The white bishop is so strong. Look at how it defends this promotion square. The black pawn, close but not close enough, and Fabi, very relaxed here, he's going to take the win. The opponent only has 12 seconds left. Stalemate is the last thing that could stop Fabiano in this game.
Grandmaster Benjamin Bock, of course, a fantastic opponent. His clock turns red. He's losing on the board and on the clock. He does have 1 Champions Chess Tour point. He's done well in all of the game weeks. He's played all of them so far in the autumn splits. But Fabiano Caruana, he's in great form.
He's in great form, super consistent, and here we see him with a queen trying to checkmate. 7-8 seconds should be more than enough, though, with a queen and 2 pieces. The Black King has 1 square, it's not stalemate, and there we go. Fabi mates his opponent, takes the win, and leaves his chair.
Immediately, like he did when he won his last game, Fabiano Caruana goes up to 4 out of 4. Fantastic play by the American. All right, round 4 is rounding up. We now also see Andrei Esipenko there on 4 out of 4. Hikaru is on 4 out of 4. Duda is on 4 out of 4. Levon Aronian is on 4 out of 4. Some huge names here. But Magnus Carlsen is not there. He just lost to Daniel Naroditsky. How will that affect Magnus?
It might motivate him. Magnus rarely loses 2 games in a row. Like, everyone loses a game sometimes. Everyone blunders. Magnus blundering a Night Fork. It's not the first time it's ever happened, but he'll be determined now to fight back. He's still got a chance, of course, especially with such a stacked field. Very unlikely anyone goes 11 out of 11, perfect score. So he knows he's got time, but he'll want to go on a streak of his own to regain some confidence.
All right, we're finished with 4 rounds, a total of 11 rounds here in Game Week 6 in Title Tuesday, the Premier League of Chess.
Here we go.
All right, we have some fantastic players here in Game Week 6. All the top names are featuring in Game Week 6, and that means we've already seen action. We've already seen some really cool moves, some really cool games, time trouble, of course, as well. And we're now going to head into the action replay by presenting partner Lovable. We're going to check out a fantastic game that we just saw, this one by Fabiano Caruana and Alonso in round 3. And this had a dramatic finish.
This had a dramatic finish. Look at that. Just that move from Fabiano walked into a discovered check. There were Night Forks in the air as well. Fabiano gambling here with his tournament fate. And the Black Rook should beat the White Knight here. It's a huge material advantage for Grandmaster Alonso. But this next move gave away the advantage, gave up that black pawn on the edge of the board. Suddenly it's level again. And look at the clocks. Keep an eye on those clocks, because this is what Fabiano was banking on. Just under 20 seconds for him, but only 12 seconds for his opponent. And it was all about mouse speed. And the key to win these flagging battles is to give checks. Checks prevent the opponent from pre-moving. Fabiano gave a few checks here. The opponent burnt 2 or 3 seconds on the clock. Next, he gave a few more checks. Look at this, chasing the Black King forward. The opponent never knows when he's going to get checked or not. Fabiano, again, making a mistake, pinning his own knight here. Dead lost position, but look at that black clock. 2 seconds, it's gone red. And that's the decider. Some quick flurry of moves here at the end. Fabiano, the final move, about to lose his rook, gets skewered, but just in time he wins on the clock.
I have to say, Fabi looked stressed the final 30 seconds of this game.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Like, we've all been there. Anyone who plays a lot of internet chess, I don't know, you just feel on edge. Even if you win those time scrambles, you never feel completely relaxed afterwards.
He's playing fantastic today, Fabiano Caruana. He is on 4 out of 4, and that was today's action replay by our presenting partner, Lovable. So cool. It's so cool to see the top guys all gathered for Title Tuesday. Jan Christoph Duda, of course, one of them as well, on 4 out of 4. Who's the biggest surprise to you on this list with 4 out of 4?
Ooh, that's a very good question. There are some names I'm not so familiar with. Down number 14 right now, Tong. I'm not so familiar with that player. Galchenko, we've seen him appear. He's lost a couple of times to Magnus, to Hikaru. He's always facing these top seeds in the early rounds, but nice to see him get to 4 out of 4. And yeah, I mean, there's just so many favorites, though. I think that's the thing. Biggest surprise is that Magnus has dropped a point. Oh, wow. We see him for the first time today.
Yeah.
What a view.
Playing from home today, Magnus Carlsen. Somewhere in that building is probably also his baby boy. And Ali Reza Vrusha is streaming and playing today, playing some great chess on 4 out of 4. Jan Pomniachtchi streaming, and Hans Niemann is streaming and playing. Hans Niemann took a loss in round 3, but he is still fighting to win this. I guess it's a chance we will see Magnus versus Hans in the next round.
They are on the same score.
Yeah.
Usually in these big Swisses, it's only in the later rounds that the top seeds meet each other, because it's always top half versus bottom half if they're on the same points. But yeah, get the popcorn just in case it does happen. It's very, very possible later.
I also want to give you guys an update on our streaming guest, Witty Alien. Fantastic guy, entertaining player. It's another loss for him, though, in round 4. So 3 losses so far, 1 win. Can you feel for him, David? Can you recognize that face with head and hands?
Yeah, it's a very familiar sight with chess players. We can't always win every game. We can't always be in top form. I blame myself. I played too many blitz games with him earlier. We tied each other out. But no, I mean, he'll be back. He'll be back. He's a very momentum-based player. If he just gets 1 win, we'll see the smile return. So yeah, I just want him to stay strong, to keep believing, keep the confidence going, and all of his fans, I hope, keep cheering him on.
Yes, give him some love, you guys. Share your love for Witty Alien in any kind of chat, YouTube, Twitch, on his stream, on our broadcast, wherever you are following this, wherever you are in the world, if it's morning, if it's evening, if it's late night. It's so cool that Title Tuesday is happening for the entire world. The globe is our arena, and round 5 is starting in only a few seconds. We're gonna get the pairings up for round 5. Remember, a total of 11 rounds each Tuesday. So we still have a long way to go. Magnus Carlsen has lost the game. Hans Niemann has lost the game. They can still win it. And here we have it. Some big, big matchups coming up. Hikaru versus Levon Aronian. Okay, big one. Ali Reza Fruja is up against Terry, who always does well in Title Tuesdays. Naroditsky Duda. We have, I was looking for Magnus Carlsen, I couldn't see his name. But of course, we're going to follow this big American battle. Hikaru Nakamura, Title Tuesday King, versus Levon Aronian, the legend.
Wow, this is going to be fun. They're both bang in form. They've both been very, very busy lately. Hikaru with the USA versus India match. Levon was battling it out, beat Pragnananda to get to 3rd place in Brazil at the Grand Chess Tour. And we see an odd spin on the French defense. Hikaru, he actually played a very early f4 against Gukesh when he won that game, that match, just a few days ago. So he's going for a similar type of thing now. He wants to put another pawn into the center, establish the pawn chain, and try to clamp down on the dart squares. We see Levon Aronian appear as well. Very sunny where he is. Maybe he's still in Brazil. Maybe he's still soaking up the nice weather over there.
That looks fantastic for Levon Aronian, who once in his life has been world number 2. And then, of course, he's getting older. And maybe we had written him off. But in the last year, Levon has had some huge results. He's won big, big tournaments. He's looking like someone who could qualify for the candidates, who could even qualify for the World Championship match.
Definitely. The form he's in, he crushed it in Las Vegas in the freestyle tournament there. He's been doing very, very well in the Grand Chess Tour. He's won some big, big tournaments. He's beaten the likes of Hikaru over the board. He's beaten Magnus over the board. He's kind of experiencing this kind of purple patch in form right now. It was his birthday yesterday, by the way, Levon Aronian. Happy 43rd birthday, but still young at heart and still proving it on the chessboard constantly.
An inspiration to everyone. Levon Aronian, here he is playing his first game week in the autumn split. He's on 4 out of 4 so far, same score as Hikaru Nakamura. But I guess in this format, Hikaru is a favorite in this game.
Yeah, definitely. If it comes down to the final stages, if it's a level position, both sides with 30 seconds on the clock, I think Hikaru wins that more often than not. But does he get there? That's the big question. Look at the White King, suddenly a bit vulnerable, been forced out into the open. A check earlier couldn't have been blocked due to pressure against the White center. And the eval bar now says White slightly better, but in practical terms, this is very, very scary. The queen staring you down. Your pawn chain in the middle is about to be eroded, broken down, as Hikaru drops his bishop back. These French defenses, that's just so hard to negotiate, to navigate. And Levon Aronian, he's been playing the French defense a lot lately. So probably not a surprise for Hikaru Nakamura, who now trades off a knight for a bishop. He solidifies his center. This is a bit of a bad bishop for White, stuck behind its own pawns, but it's a good defender. And Hikaru, long-term, might be able to start throwing some pawns towards the Black King. There we go. Crazy position, this middle game. Could go in any direction.
long castle from Levon Aronian, no castle for Hikaru Nakamura. How rare is that?
It's very rare. Like, don't try it at home. That is for sure. Always try and castle if you can. White might try and castle by hand, as they say. The white rook might slide across and the white king might drop back. And the white king would feel pretty safe on that flank. There aren't so many open lines, but there are open lines towards the black king. That's why Levon Aronian castling on the long side, very brave. That is one open line. The white pawns might create some other open lines, other avenues, as Hikaru and Levon both improves their rooks. The problem is for Levon that the center is blocked, and knights prefer blocked positions. Bishops do not enjoy those blocked centers. So for Levon Aronian with the bishop pair, not feeling too comfortable right now. This is Hikaru with an advantage that's only growing.
An All-American battle, another American All-American battle happening right now is Sam Shanklin. He has the white pieces against Fabiano Caruana. Fabi on 4 out of 4. Let's see how that one goes as well.
Yeah, I feel like I tempted fate there. I chose all of the American players in the players to watch today.
True.
And that didn't even include Levon Aronian, didn't include Sam Shanklin and Daniel Naroditsky. There's just so many of them. I think we'll talk about countries maybe more in future, but the US really bringing all of their kind of heavy hitters to Title Tuesday these days.
Exactly. Now, there is actually, if you go into the Take app, you can actually check out standings for countries as well. And today, no shock, US is in the lead. They have so far 20 points, counting, I think it is their top 5 players. No, that can't be right.
Could be. After 5,
Yeah.
after 4 rounds? 4 times, yeah. Do they have 5 players on 4 out of 4?
Yeah, maybe. That's impressive.
That would be impressive.
And I mean, let's talk about American chess. It's thriving, of course, winning this weekend versus India in that big battle. Look at them here in Title Tuesday. Hikaru Nakamura is world number 2. Fabiano Caruana is world number 3. There are some big names below them as well. Mm-hmm. Have American chess ever been better if you look away from Bobby Fischer, of course, being world champion?
Yeah, this is the biggest strength and depth they've ever had. When Bobby Fischer was at his peak, he was the only one. It was him fighting the USSR, the Soviet Union, just him on his own. But now they've got so many good players. Hans Niemann is one of them. I mean, there's literally 5 of them right now on 100% in this tournament. That is a nasty check. I just want to mention, Hikaru is about to give checkmate to Levon Aronian.
Whoa.
He could have brought his rook forward, and he could have gone for an even more direct, beautiful checkmate. The black king is just caught in the corner. So Hikaru realizing he could have won on the spot, but it's still a case of the inevitable, as he's going to slide his rook across anyway and deliver the killer blow to the black king. This is just game over. Levon Aronian's caught in a checkmating net. But the US, this is the perfect time for them. Yeah. And they have so many strong youngsters as well. Abhimanyu Mishra, Andy Woodward, they both nearly qualified for the candidates despite being in their mid-teens right now. So the future is bright for the US. They've only taken up the challenge that India has set for them lately.
Definitely. And here we have an All-American battle, and Hikaru Nakamura is looking very likely to take the full point and go up to 5 out of 5 points. Is there any hope for Levon Aronian?
This game is over. Levon might resign any second. This check is threatened by the white rook. That would be nasty. That would be a knockout. If the rook is captured, then the white queen slides forward with a checkmate, and there we go. Hikaru Nakamura takes the win. Dominant fashion there.
Wow, that was not a very long game. Hikaru took it. He's on fire today. This is still round 5. And we've seen Renato Terry with the white pieces against Ali Reza Firouzja. Both of these are on 4 out of 4.
Yeah, and this endgame, it's somewhere between a draw and a win for Firouzja. Firouzja is in no trouble at all. He can draw this, bail out anytime he wants. It's rook and knight versus rook and bishop. The reason black is better is because he has this beautiful pass pawn. If you compare it to white's pawn, the target on b2, it's clear that things are quite one-sided there. But there are so few pieces remaining on this board that the drawing margin is high. Renato Terry needs to somehow trade rooks, needs to somehow get this big black pawn off the board, as he's taking a very long sip of water or milk or whatever it is there. As he gives up his bishop, Renato Terry, big decision. The computer says it's totally winning for black now, but black only has 1 pawn remaining. Renato Terry's gambling everything on winning this black pawn. If he can, it's a draw. If not, he loses. That pawn is a potential queen. Firouzja needs to keep it on the board at any cost.
Renato Terry is playing a lot of Title Tuesdays and he scores a lot of points. He has played all game week so far in the autumn split. He's been number 5, he's been number 6, but he's in huge trouble. Alireza Firouzja about to go up to 5 out of 5.
It looks that way, but this is still a very complicated position. This white pawn, if it gets further, will tie down the black knight. It couldn't step further forward. The white king was actually almost checkmated there. But Firouzja, he's hoping that his knight will stop the pawn and his king will win the enemy pawn a bit later. This is still so difficult to win in practical terms. Firouzja does not look confident, despite the fact the bar says he's winning now, as the white king is going to start moving towards this black knight. The black knight versus the white pawn, they kind of cancel each other out, paradoxically. Normally a knight is worth much more, but a passed pawn is so powerful in chess, it will tie down that piece. I would not be confident winning this with black. Firouzja is hoping to somehow get his king in later to win this white pawn, but he is also having one eye on the clock right now. Renato Terry going back with his king is a huge blunder. There was a knight fork there. Instead, Firouzja finds a way forward with his king. The white king is going to have to give way. Firouzja is now going to win this game. Renato Terry just couldn't find the right way forward, and we'll see the checkmate come soon. The black knight will ride forward into a checkmating position. The white king is trapped. It's that simple. You don't want to force the pawn forward yet, but when the moment comes, it will be checkmate. The knight can come forward now. He's just calculating, putting the finishing touches on this win.
The clock got too low for Renato Terry, and he's about to lose to the fantastic Alireza Firouzja. There it is. One more point for Alireza with the black pieces. He goes up to 5 out of 5 so far in the autumn split. He's got a 2nd place. He's got a 3rd place. He hasn't won it, and it's looking really good today. After 5 rounds, he is on a perfect score up there with Hikaru Nakamura, who is also on 5 out of 5 after his fantastic win against Levon Aronian. That was simply dominant by Hikaru.
Yeah, Hikaru, we questioned whether he'd be focused or able to kind of fully concentrate after what's happened the last week with the ratings, with the king throwing. I mean, Hikaru is just crushing it here. I just want to point out as well, lots of draws in this round so far. That means that not so many people on 5 out of 5. They're on collision course, Hikaru and Firouzja.
Oh, that's true. We might see Alireza Firouzja against Hikaru Nakamura in round 6. Andrei Esipenko, it's a win for him as well. He's on a perfect score together with Alireza and Hikaru. A bunch of players on 4.5. Naroditsky now on 4.5. Fabiano Caruana, Jan Nepomniachtchi, Jan-Christoph Duda, all on 4.5. Magnus Carlsen, he did lose 1 game. And Hans Niemann has won his round 5 game. I am looking for Magnus. It's a win for him with the white pieces in round 5. So he should be on 4 points together with Levon Aronian that we see there on that list. And here we have the pairings for round 6. It's going to be Andrei Esipenko against Hikaru Nakamura. Alireza Firouzja against that newcomer. He's playing his first game week, Tong from China. We're going to jump into this big one. Andrei Esipenko against Hikaru Nakamura. All right, what kind of opening will we see?
Ooh, we see the Italian game. Esipenko is a bit of a wild card when it comes to openings, plays everything under the sun, got some really tricky ideas up his sleeve. One of the new generation that Magnus Carlsen tipped for the very top. Had a bit of a lull in his career, but here we see the typical Italian ideas, the typical setups. White is going to try and break in the center in the near future. Black might try to do the same. Hikaru keeping his king nice and flexible, could castle either flank. But ultimately, this is a very balanced opening. It's the type of thing you play when you believe you're the better player. So brave decision by Esipenko against someone who's got a lot of experience in the Italian game in Hikaru Nakamura.
Esipenko, the 23-year-old from Russia, has played all game week so far in the autumn split. He always does well. He started out in game week 1 with a 2nd place. He's got a 6th place. Last week, 11th place. This week, fighting to win it. Looking very chill there, Andrei Esipenko.
He's always been chilled as long as I've known him. I first met him when he was in his early teens. He was wearing an Arsenal football top, and he just looked like the most chilled out guy ever. And his chess style is anything but chill. That's one thing I'll say. He loves his dynamism. This position is pretty quiet right now, but likely to explode at some point when one of the two sides decides to advance in the center. Will it be white? Will it be black? Big moment. Hikaru looking up. But Esipenko had a great run at the Esports World Cup, we should mention, beating Jan Nepomniachtchi in a match there, taking down his countryman. That was his big breakthrough in speed chess. He's never been right at the top, but ever since in Title Tuesdays, he's been very, very consistent. Hikaru choosing to prevent the white pawn mass from advancing. Very classy move there from Hikaru. And now the big question, does Esipenko step forward? Or does he continue maneuvering his knights? No, he does go for it in the center. It does feel like a slightly more comfortable position for white with more space. Ivalbar agrees, but Hikaru is rock solid, and he knows how to handle these types of middle games.
Rinkush is wondering, is Magnus Carlsen playing? Yes, he is Rinkush, but he has lost the game. He is on 4 out of 5 points, and he is right now playing with the black pieces against Matlakov here in round 6. Keeping an eye on that as well, of course.
Yeah, we'll update everyone of the results and maybe even go to that game if this one finishes early. For now, though, it's maximum tension on this board. Hikaru's just trying to keep one stronghold. It's all about this pawn that we're highlighting. The black pawn in the center defends it. The black knight also hold this stronghold. If that pawn is ever traded off and forced to be replaced by a piece, maybe Esipenko gets an advantage, but Hikaru for now, I was going to say, happy to stay passive, happy to stay solid. Now he's going for the trade just to get an outpost for his knight. This is very, very brave for Hikaru Nakamura. This knight looks beautiful, but is a bit offside. Doesn't really contribute to the center. And watch out for the white knights. A knight on f5 will thrive, as they say, and white's knights are going to start going towards the defenseless black king. The black king lacking any real protection around it. And this looks beautiful for white suddenly. The eval bar rising. This is the worst position Hikaru's had all day so far.
Can Andrei Esipenko take down Hikaru and go up to 6 out of 6? He's looking like he's in the right mood for it. He is chill, confident. Can he take down Hikaru Nakamura?
Yeah, tough position for Hikaru. Not just a bad position on the clock, but not just on the board, on the clock as well. 20 seconds down and counting. No obvious moves. If you ever trade in the center, you're just left with an isolated pawn behind. That will be a big target. The black rook in the corner, a bit asleep. The black knight on the outpost. What's that actually doing? As white's pieces are starting to focus, starting to swarm towards the right flank here, towards the king side. Easy moves for white. You can almost pre-move the knight coming in. You can almost pre-move breaking in the center. You have so many ideas, but Hikaru lacking a clear plan. He looks up to the heavens for inspiration. Hikaru, what's he going to decide on? He's been thinking for over 1 minute now. A fifth of his time on this one move, and he's still thinking. What's he going to do, Hikaru? Is he going to move his queen out the way? The queen feels uncomfortable on the open line. He retreats his knight. That's just where it came from, though. Losing some time, Hikaru Nakamura. And Andrei Esipenko, as we said, just moves his knight forward. Easy response by white. Now the white queen has some nice squares to jump to. The white pawn could jump out the way, open some lines. This is a huge chance for Andrei Esipenko. A minute up on the clock. Can he use the momentum for white?
How important is it for him to now keep the speed up, to keep playing fast, to keep his time advantage?
It's essential. These next 10 moves could decide everything. Look how angry Hikaru is right now. He knows he needs to get the queens off. He needs to defend this position for the next 10 moves. Then he might survive. Then he might be okay. But look at this. The bar keeps creeping in white's favor. How are you going to defend that pawn? Is it going to be with the black rook? But the white knight has some jumping posts as well. Hikaru's in sacrificial mode now. Giving up a pawn, trying to get to the endgame. He wants the queens off so desperately. It's a difficult decision for Esipenko now to trade or not to trade. You could also jump forward with a white knight and swing the white rook across if you want to be very, very direct here. If you want to go for checkmate, Hikaru grimacing. But the time advantage is starting to fade. This could still turn in black's favor if Esipenko isn't careful on the clock. But for now, beautiful options for white. Most likely he's going to grab a pawn and try to grind out an endgame.
Magnus Carlsen is slightly better with the black pieces against Matlakov in round 6. Maxim Vachier-Lagrave is massively better in his game. Hans Niemann is better with the white pieces in round 6. Alireza Firouzja massively better in his game. Fabiano Caruana is struggling in his game against Shimanov. Naroditsky in trouble but he's playing against the great Jan Nepomniachtchi, who is massively better. And then this one, it's looking good for Andrei Esipenko against Hikaru Nakamura.
On the board, it's very good, but suddenly he's the one to freeze. He played the most obvious move in the position. He took a pawn, but it cost him 1 minute. It cost him his whole time advantage. Suddenly, Hikaru's back on the clock, and he's actually up 15 seconds. Hikaru was ready with the pre-move. He's now going to try and kick away this white knight, which is important. That knight defends white's central pawn. That is blocked by Andrei Esipenko. But wow, that is brave. Giving up that pawn to the white queen, desperately trying to keep the queens on the board. If the black queen pounces, takes that pawn, you lose control over the other flank, and a different pawn drops. There we go. It's still a pawn up for Andrei Esipenko, still with the better winning chances here. But Hikaru Nakamura is going to be very happy with how things have gone in the last two moves.
He seems to always make it work. Hikaru Nakamura just seems to be in control. Can he now, in fact, win this game with the black pieces after struggling big time against Andrei Esipenko, who is now low on the clock? He has less time left than Hikaru. No increment. Well, do you think we're going to see the red numbers?
Oh, there we go. It is the first blunder. The red numbers are definitely going to appear in this game. Andrei Esipenko, though, has slipped up. This white knight is hit. It's pinned as well. If you move the white knight away, the black queen will pounce. Take a pawn on g2. That is checkmate. Andrei Esipenko suddenly looking far less chilled, far less relaxed than before. He swings his rook across, but that is a huge game-changing blunder, apparently. Hikaru swinging his rook in. Some threats of the rook coming deeper into the white camp, maybe even coming the whole way down the board. You don't want to rush and take that white knight because the pawn recaptures. Andrei Esipenko reacting. He knows he's totally lost control here.
He is so frustrated, Andrei Esipenko. He was in a great position against Hikaru Nakamura here in round 6, looking to go for a perfect 6 out of 6. And here he is with 30 seconds left. And Hikaru is massively better.
Hikaru is winning. The black rook steps up. He was attacking a pawn that's now defended. Again, it's kind of a standoff here. You don't want to rush and take this knight because the black knight would then be in the firing line. But white is totally paralyzed. Look at Esipenko. He's almost given up here. And I wouldn't be shocked if Hikaru starts just moving his king, moving out of any checks. There we go. Very professional. Sacrifice there. The white knight, before it fell off, at least was saved. So it's now a material advantage. Rook for knight for Hikaru Nakamura. He's threatening checkmate. Watch out. We see pawns disappear. It's a matter of time now. Andrei Esipenko, before his defenses collapse. The knight is the only thing holding the fort, but the rooks are getting traded. The queens might be traded soon too. Rook for knight advantage. Hikaru Nakamura, 15 seconds extra on the clock as well, stepping forward with his king. Although, is it a blunder? Has he messed up here? The black queen's almost trapped. She's got not too many squares to use. She might have to step across, but suddenly he's walked into a fork here. That fork is going to win potentially the black rook. Game on. Hikaru's lower on the clock.
Oh, look at that. 18 seconds for Hikaru. They are balanced on the board.
Balance on the board. White is going for checkmate here. That might have been a slip, allowing the black rook to block. And a queen trade offered by Hikaru. It is another blunder, but it's not about the board. It's about the clock now. Esipenko keeping his knight on, but the pawns are dropping. The black rook is going to give so many checks now to the white king. And the knight drops off as well. Hikaru Nakamura, with the clock red, takes the win.
Ho, ho, ho. The clocks turn red. And that's when Hikaru thrives. He wins it with the black pieces. He goes up to 6 out of 6. He takes down Andrei Esipenko in a dramatic game. This could have gone anyway. What eventually happened here, David?
Yeah, eventually Esipenko walked into a queen trade, which didn't help him. The clocks were low. I think he just didn't have time. Instincts told him otherwise. He could have gone for a checkmating attack, maybe been able to force a draw, but ultimately Hikaru, once he turned it in his favor, it wasn't in doubt for too long. And he's just looking phenomenal. He's the sole leader, the only one on 100%. Can he go the distance?
Ooh, can Hikaru Nakamura take 11 out of 11, the perfect score that we almost never see in Title Tuesdays? Fantastic stuff by Hikaru Nakamura. All right, Alireza Firouzja is on 5.5 together with Duda, Nepo, Vidit, and still Tong, the Chinese, a little bit unknown player up here. It's going to be interesting to see how far he can take it. We do now see the Norwegian flag and Magnus's name in 18th place. He's got 5 points, same as Fabiano Caruana, same as Levon Aronian. They are still fighting to win this. And here we have matchups for round 7. It's going to be Hikaru versus Ali Reza Firouzja. Big one.
Oh, big game. And I was going to say we needed to jump in just in case there's a quick draw, which there has been between these two many times, but not on Firouzja's watch. He knows he's half a point behind this time, as opposed to a couple of weeks ago when Hikaru was the one trailing. And Firouzja fights with the Caro-Kann defense. No Berlin draw, no Berlin wall. Hikaru's going to have to prove it here this time. Nice to see.
Awesome. We love it when we see a big fight on the board, especially between these two. All right, who do you hold as favorite now?
I think Hikaru slightly. But Firouzja, I do love the way he handles the Caro-Kann defense. For anyone who plays their opening on a regular basis, watch out for Firouzja's games. They're phenomenal. He keeps tension. He's created the triangle of pawns here. Rock solid. A bishop outside the pawn chain. That's a nice touch. He's going to trade off these bishops now. And it's looking totally fine for Alireza Firouzja early in the opening, as Hikaru offers that trade of bishops. Firouzja, the one thing that I fear is that he goes too hard for a win. With black, it's so difficult against Hikaru. If you press too hard, you might get your fingers burnt. And we'll see who can hold their nerve the better. But for now, looking, I think, totally fine. Eval Bar likes white, but this is normally a dream for Caro-Kann defense players.
Alireza Firouzja must be hungry to win this game. He still hasn't won a title Tuesday in the autumn split. He got second place in game week 4 when Hikaru Nakamura took first place. Today, fighting again to win it, Alireza Firouzja. All right, both have more than 4 minutes on the clock. A lot of pieces, a lot of pawns still here. The kings have castled, both on the same side of the board. Mm-hmm. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. 100% agree. And the last move by Hikaru shows for the first time that he is feeling ambitious. He's now set up both white pawns in the middle, and he might step forward at the right moment, create the French defense pawn structure that he used to defeat Levon Aronian a bit earlier today. But he's also happy to keep the tension for now. He wants Firouzja to trade on his terms, because then the white rook gets very, very active. And, okay, interesting decision from Firouzja. Instead, he's going to drop his knight into the center. And that knight is either very, very strong or might find itself trapped later in the game. There we go. It's a pawn break. We'll see more trades. Firouzja should be pretty happy with those. Just looks like a very, very good French defense now. From a Caro-Kann to a French. Those openings are cousins of each other. And now the black rook will swing across. The black pawns will march forward, as we see here. And we'll go for the minority attack, as they call it. 2 pawns are going to try to challenge white's 3 pawns on that side of the board. So clear plan for Firouzja, as Hikaru should most likely be playing towards the black king. And there we go. It is the H-pawn stepping forward that's going to kick the black knight away, the defender. Game on. Lots of trades, but still a lot of life left.
Awesome. Hikaru Nakamura on 6 out of 6. Alireza Firouzja half a point behind him on 5.5 points after 6 rounds. Magnus Carlsen, he is currently playing Pranav, the Indian young grandmaster. Magnus has the black pieces in that game. And Fabiano Caruana, he's up against Madavi. Niemann is playing black against Moussard. Maxime Vachier-Lagrave against Villagra. Jan Pomliachi against the Chinese Tong. Duda against Vidit. Levon Aronian, All-American battle against Eric Rosen, the streamer. Big, big battles in round 7. Only a few more rounds before we have a winner. A total of 11 rounds. It's heating up. Hikaru Nakamura is in the move, and he moves his queen.
Yeah, very solid move from Hikaru. He paused there for quite a while because he was maybe tempted to bring his queen across, swing the rook across, and go for an immediate checkmate. That was an option on the previous move, but he's still hinting at it. The white rook is perfectly poised to swing. A rook lift is famous in chess for leading to an attack, and you attack the king from the front, playing with pieces, not playing with pawns. That can be a very effective mode of attack a bit later. So Hikaru looks great for him. Firouzja's the one to slow down. Firouzja wants to trade off rooks. If he can get all the rooks off the board here, should be totally fine for black, but not an easy defensive task ahead. He actually uses the other rook, which I'm very surprised by. And Hikaru says, yes, you can trade, but on my terms. Firouzja trades one. Will he trade the other? That looks like a good way to try and alleviate some pressure. The problem is Firouzja might feel he's playing for a draw, and half a point behind Hikaru, that might not satisfy him. He doesn't look happy, Firouzja, on the camera. If he plays this move, he's only really fighting for a draw, nothing more. But if he plays anything else, huge risk attached, he does try to trade the rooks off, and Hikaru now can play it safe by taking the rooks off, or he can go for checkmate. A bit more risky, keeping the rooks on.
Okay, let's see what Hikaru Nakamura does. He wants to have that perfect score. Hikaru wants to win this game.
Yeah, something about Hikaru today. It just looks like he's taking big, big risks. I think he, by nature, wants to take the rooks off. That's just who he is. He likes simplicity. He likes to remove too much risk. But today, okay, that facial expression told me he's about to trade the rooks off. I was going to say today, though, might be the day he kept the rook on. No, rooks off the board. So the game now should be level, but white still has some chances. This is what was attractive to Hikaru. He's got the outside pawn majority. These 2 pawns most likely bypass what black's 1 on the edge of the board. But for now, still some weaknesses for Hikaru to deal with. And level, exactly level on the clocks.
And a draw here would be good news for someone like Magnus Carlsen, who has lost a game, who is on 5 points after 6 rounds. If he can win in round 7, then he's going to be much closer to Hikaru than if Hikaru wins here in round 7. Same for Hans Niemann, who has also lost a game, but is still fighting and hoping to win. A draw here would be good, but now better for Hikaru.
Better for Hikaru Nakamura. That is not a very pleasant decision to make for Alireza. You normally don't want to touch pawns in front of your king when you're weaker on that side. And it might be difficult to know who's weaker on that side, but white is the one with a very strong advanced pawn. And the more lines that open up, the more the black king will start to fret and stress and potentially come under fire. Hikaru doesn't care about that side of the board for now, though. He's just trying to promote and make a new queen. And there we go. A pawn was captured, Firouzja's upper pawn. But it's not about that side yet. You just need to teleport somehow with the black queen over. He's going to try and remove the queen and swing it on across. But big mistake from Alireza Firouzja, apparently. The black knight is a bit offside. Is he just going to hold here? You need to stop the check, Hikaru Nakamura. How to prevent it? Do you just push your pawn forward, defend everything? These 2 pawns for white are, though, just huge trump cards for later. They're like having an ace up your sleeve. They're going to become new queens, most likely, if you can survive till the endgame. So Hikaru knows he's done the hard work. He just needs to keep his king safe from any checks now, and he should win this game.
Wow. Just wow by Hikaru Nakamura today.
Whoa, yeah, I'm so impressed. He's even given up a second pawn. Hikaru is 2 pawns down. He doesn't care about checks. He's arguing that the white king steps back, no ghosts. Actually, no way forward for black there, no further checks. He's banking everything on this A-pawn. Alireza, the A-pawn here, is potentially about to become a new queen. It's not able to advance it yet, but okay, he uses his knight to support it. Hikaru, that's not the most accurate. He's still better, but clear plan. Alireza needs to strike now or never if he's going to hold this game.
Oh, dramatic game. Both players about to tick down to 1 minute on the clock. No increment. Can Hikaru Nakamura still win this? Okay, it's back to balanced.
It's back to balanced. Alireza is still the one with the more difficult task. If he finds all the right moves, maybe he can give checks, make a draw by perpetual. Watch out. This knight wants to jump out the way with a check and win the white queen. Therefore, Hikaru slides out the way. Will we see a repetition now? Hikaru, will he play on? He's got the A-pawn up his sleeve. This position maybe should be a draw with best play, but is he going to risk it? He goes the other way. Hikaru doesn't want the draw now, but watch out. Counterattack threats. The black queen is trying to get in and behind. Hikaru doesn't care. It's a check from the black knight. This is a crazy position. A draw according to the computer, but anything from balanced on the board in human terms is so easy to blunder. Watch out for the eval bar to go any direction in the near future. Do you take this pawn check? Do you give another check? Do you bring the queen in check? Do you use your knight check? So many options for Firouzja, so easy to go wrong. He checks with his queen. The white king would now go back, most likely. White is one move away, 1 square away from winning this game.
Wow. And players are now under 30 seconds on the clock in a dramatic game. Will we see a winner? What do you think, David?
I think we'll see a draw. But, oh, there we go. It is a draw. It was Hikaru who offered it in the end, actually. And it did feel like Firouzja was tempted to play on, but the clock maybe held him back. Hikaru, look at the shock there. He said, what? It was winning? And he must be a bit annoyed at himself, but ultimately he keeps his lead.
Wow, we see a draw after a big battle here in round 7 between Hikaru Nakamura and Alireza Firouzja. We're definitely not going to see a perfect score for any player today. Hikaru is now on 6.5. Alireza Firouzja 6 points. Magnus Carlsen has won his round 7 game, and that means he is now also on 6 points, back in the fight to win game week 6. Jan Christoph Duda, he's on 6.5. Tong is on 6.5. Look at those results. Tong has just beaten Jan Nepomniachtchi. We now need to start investigating this Tong. Who is he?
Yeah, Xiao Tong, a Chinese grandmaster, 16 years old.
Wow.
Born in 2008. He'll turn 17 a bit later this year. I must admit, it's a name I'm unfamiliar with. I've seen many of the players he's beaten, apparently, according to his Wikipedia page, but I've never really seen him play online either. This is fantastic. He's on a streak. Beating Jan Nepomniachtchi with the black pieces, that is wild. And he might get a shot at Hikaru Nakamura next.
Wow. All right. Tong is the big underdog here. He is in shared lead with 6.5 points. Wow. In an incredibly strong Title Tuesday field as well. And we now have Duda and Hikaru and Tong there up on 6.5, but Magnus Carlsen is back in the fight. I'm also looking for Hans Niemann's face. I cannot, or his name, I cannot see it here. All right, round 8 is about to start. We will see Tong against Hikaru. Magnus is up against Xiong, Alireza Firouzja against Duda, but this is definitely not Tong, but we're now finally going to see a game with this Chinese mystery man, the 16-year-old with the white pieces against Hikaru Nakamura. Winner in this game will take the lead in Title Tuesday Game Week 6.
Yeah, this is fascinating. It's rare to see such an underdog at this level. Yes, he's a Grandmaster Tong at such a young age, so we shouldn't underestimate him. But he's played against the Berlin. He's not gone for the Berlin draw that Hikaru was kind of allowing there. But he's 2,500. He's rated 2537, so that's almost 300 points in FIDE classical terms lower than Hikaru Nakamura. And here, very interesting that Hikaru has shown so much respect that Hikaru's played an opening he only uses when he's happy with a draw. He's played the Berlin. It's a symmetrical pawn structure incoming, very level position incoming. The rook will be evicted in the near future. And Tong here needs to try and get his pieces out. There we go. The bishop comes out. Some potential threats against the pawn. Nothing substantial yet, though, to worry about. Don't take this one. If you take this pawn, the black bishop swoops out the way with a check, and the white rook would have dropped. So he goes back. This is very safe play from both sides. Mutual respect is clear here.
Wow. This is round 8 out of 11 in game week 6. Hans Niemann played a draw in round 7. He is right now playing Shigalko, and he has the white pieces. Another big battle happening here in round 8 is Fabiano Caruana against Levon Aronian, All-American. Once again, both are on 6 points heading here into round 8. A bunch of players still has a chance to win game week 6. Both of these players definitely has that chance. They are on 6.5 points.
Definitely. The last move from Tong, I question a bit. The white bishop is not well placed at all on this square. Hikaru, he's the master of grinding out small advantages these days, and he's going to be very happy that he's got the better bishop. Black's bishop has potential on both sides of the board. Look how open it is. White's bishop stuck. So we see the bishop move yet again. A bit of indecision there from Tong. Loss of time, moving that same piece twice in the space of 3 moves. Also moved his queen up 1 square, then moved it again to capture a piece. So Tong, it feels like he's playing for a draw. I don't blame him against Hikaru Nakamura. That would be a decent result. But maybe that's going to backfire. You don't get away with playing for safety against these top players very often.
We talked about American chess today. What's the state of Chinese chess? Of course, Ding Liren losing the World Championship match to Gukesh last year.
Yeah, it's still strong, Chinese chess. The Chinese team, they have Ding, of course. They have Wei Yi, who's one of the best players in the world. They have Yu Yangyi, a very dangerous grandmaster, and many other 2600s. I think it's just not quite as competitive as India at the very top these days. It feels a bit odd, like these Chinese tournaments. There's a lot of open tournaments where the games aren't even revealed on databases. You often see big mismatches in terms of ratings. Lots and lots of talent, but it's very unclear whether the government really supports them. The federation pushes them. So ever since their Olympiad win a few years ago now, it's not necessarily been the most upward trajectory for China.
And where is Ding Liren? When's the last time we saw him?
Yeah, last time I saw him was in Singapore during the World Championship match. He has played in the Chinese League in some Chinese events with mixed results. Not great, but not bad either. So I'm hoping that's just the beginning of a comeback for our former world champion.
Would be amazing to see. But here we have a Chinese super talent, 16-year-old, and he's up there fighting with the very best, trying to win Title Tuesday, Game Week 6. Hikaru now slightly better with the black pieces.
Yeah, Hikaru's doing Hikaru things. Tong has been outplayed completely here. The problem is this queen trade, you cannot run away from it with white. At some point, you might be forced to take the black queen on black's terms. It will be replaced, that queen, by a black pawn. And if that ever happens, the white knight will have to retreat. The black king has a clear run through towards the queen side. Watch out for that to transpire a bit later. In the meantime, it's all about the white bishop as well. The white bishop is such an impotent piece here. Just can't do anything. Can't attack pawns. Can't break through its own pawn chain. No real future. As you compare the black knight, the black bishop, and look at the bar rising even further for Hikaru Nakamura. The question is whether he strikes. Does he close things now? No, he advances his king first in readiness for bringing that queen over to the king, that king over to the queen side later. But here, Tong might have found a way to annoy Hikaru. Now the queen trade will not result in a clear path for the black king. Hikaru Nakamura, will he force the issue and push his pawn forward instead? Tong defending very well, but 20 seconds down, under pressure. We'll see a pawn trade. And will Tong keep the queens on the board? He could have stepped back one square. He's hoping to keep the black king out with his pawn, but that doesn't feel like a long-term solution. Hikaru is breaking through. It's very, very close here between a draw and a Hikaru Nakamura win.
Okay, Magnus Carlsen, he is trailing a point behind Hikaru. He is right now playing against Jeffrey Shong in round 8. The bar says balanced. Fabiano Caruana is slightly better against Levon Aronian. Ali Reza Frouzja is playing against Jan-Christoph Duda. It's balanced. Hans Niemann in huge trouble against Shigalko. Shigalko in a winning position right now in that game. Jan Nepomniachtchi is also in a winning position. He's playing against Drozdowski here in round 8. So many players still fighting to win Title Tuesday Game Week 6.
Yeah, this position in the meantime has got better for Tong. It does feel like this white pawn is now there forever. It's going to keep the black king out of the position. Watch out. The white pawns could also start advancing. Black lacks a passed pawn. Black's pawns here, Hikaru, in his haste to push forward, they can't connect, they can't break through. White's 2 pawns do a great job of blockading. And more importantly, White's bishop less bad than it was. Hikaru looks a bit frustrated here as he offers a knight trade. Knight's off the board. I think the white pawn will just step forward 1 square. There we go, to light squares. You don't want to put too many pawns on dark squares where they can become targets for the opponent's bishop. And the question is, fortress or no fortress? Can Tong hold this one? Hikaru, if he gets a chance, will try and play for a win. He needs to keep the bishops on, though. Otherwise, it is a draw, at the very least for white. This pawn is hanging, so the white bishop is going to be forced to defend, I was going to say. Nope, it challenges the enemy bishop, and it feels like a draw now. Hikaru Nakamura, I think he's lost his chances. I think he needed the knights on, needed more pieces on the board. Tong has defended this so well. But is there one final twist ahead? How much is Hikaru willing to risk to try and play for a win here against his underdog opponent?
And with a draw, that means Jan-Christoph Duda has that chance to take sole lead, but he is in huge trouble right now against Ali Reza Frouzja in round 8. This could end up being super tight heading into rounds 9, 10, and finally 11.
Big moments. Hikaru here, I have a feeling he's biding his time. There we go, he checks the white king back. He might just wait until both clocks are around 30 seconds and then take a risk and then start to push a pawn, maybe allow an en passant or start some kind of trading maneuvers. And here, Tong has to keep up on the clock. You cannot be more than 10, 20 seconds behind Hikaru, otherwise he will play for the win. It's only white here playing for the draw. Only Hikaru can really win here under normal circumstances. This pawn is such a weakness. This pawn on the dark square, this pawn on the dark square. That is what holds Tong back here right now. It's getting close. Hikaru's king is more active than White's king. This is such a difficult endgame to understand, even with 1 hour on your clock. But Tong doesn't have much time to defend.
1 minute on his clock, but he is equal to Hikaru Nakamura. They both have around a minute left, no increment in this round 8 game. Is it looking like Hikaru is going for the win, or is he happy with a draw?
Yeah, Hikaru's definitely trying. I don't think he'll be gutted if he doesn't win. I don't think he's going to burn his bridges, go all in. I think he's going to kind of keep things relatively safe, but it's just looking difficult. He's definitely trying. He's moved around with his bishop. He's tried from a few different angles. He's put his king on a few different squares. He's got to be careful the position doesn't repeat itself. And we haven't had any pawn pushes or trades for a good while there until this move. Hikaru is definitely playing for the win now. He's going to try and create what we call an outside pass pawn. He'll at some point try to trade off these pawns and promote his G pawn later. But still difficult to enact, still difficult to do. But he has 10 seconds over his opponent.
Wow. And Magnus Carlsen is in huge trouble against Jeffrey Chong. Oh, but a blunder here by Jeffrey. Okay, this is going back and forth. Jeffrey Chong is now in a winning position. Magnus has 25 seconds left on his clock in round 8.
Magnus Carlsen, not at his best yet. But still some work to be done for Jeffrey Chong over there. We'll let you know the result. That is also a bishop endgame, just like this one. And that one feels like Magnus, his king is too far away. Here, both kings are perfectly poised, so it doesn't feel like the deadlock should be broken. White's king sits in front of the black pawn. Easy to stop that. The black king, close enough to stop the white pawns. This game, almost definitely a draw on the board. It's just about the clock. And Hikaru Nakamura, he will be trying to maneuver in his direction on the board now. 3-second difference. The white king stepping up. Clear that neither side can make progress. What to do? The position keeps repeating. Tong here doing everything right. Will we find a zugzwang? Will Hikaru be able to break through? Bishop trade allows the black king in, so no. He's playing for time. This is the moment Hikaru's been waiting for the last 50 moves. The white clock is about to turn red. That will be go time. That's when Hikaru will try some tricks. There we go. Hikaru Nakamura forcing his opponent lower on the clock. No bishop trade. The king goes back though. Who is going to blink first? The white clock. I'm worried about it. Tong, has he blundered here? It's a bishop trade. The black king is now going to march its way over. Ooh. And suddenly white is winning. Hikaru Nakamura's blundered. The white pawn is going to promote in the corner. It's all about the A pawn right now. Hikaru has let it slip in his winning attempts. Tong only has a few seconds left. He cannot stalemate though. Here we go. Hikaru Nakamura is done. Checkmate is coming any second now with the white queen. Hikaru Nakamura does fall. Tong takes the win.
The unfamiliar Tong from China, the 16-year-old, takes down Hikaru Nakamura in a dramatic endgame. Red clocks, Hikaru blunders, and he loses. How shocked are you by this ending, David?
Wow. I've nearly never seen Hikaru make an endgame blunder like that one, especially when he's got a few extra seconds on the clock. He was so fixated on winning on time. He was so desperate to flag his opponent that he just took his eye off the ball for one move. But Tong, we cannot take anything away from him. He was so patient. He was defending that game for 70, 80 moves. And then suddenly he got one chance. He took it. Incredible play.
Wow, and he takes the lead in Title Tuesday Game Week 6. He now has 7.5 points. A player we had hardly heard of now is in the lead, and an incredibly strong Title Tuesday Game Week 6 with all the top guns. Magnus Carlsen has also lost in round 8. He is stuck on 6 points. We see now Hikaru Nakamura 6.5 points. Nepo is on 6.5 points. Levon Aronian is now the player up there on 7 points, together with Alireza Firouzja. Tabatabai is there. Jeffrey Chong, that just beat Magnus Carlsen, is on 7 points. Who can still win this with 9, 10, 3 rounds to go, David?
Oof. It feels like it's someone on 7 or Tong. Maybe Tong can keep winning. And it does feel like Magnus and those players on 6 are out of it. The maximum they can get now is 9 points, and it does feel like someone will surpass that. The pack on 6.5, Hikaru, Nepo, they just need to win and hope. But the race is on. Tong is going to keep playing these world beaters now. He's going to keep playing the elite players. It's going to be tough to continue that class he showed there in that endgame against Hikaru.
Whew, the race is on. Who will win Game Week 6?
Here we go.
let's take a look at some of the action we've seen over the last few rounds. Let's go into an action replay. And we're heading into this game between Esipenko and Hikaru that we saw in round 6. That was up and down.
That was up and down, but mostly up for Hikaru. And this was before that shocking final endgame we saw. And Esipenko had a great position earlier on. This is where it went wrong. The Black Queen staring down towards the White King. That was the issue. The White Knight is trapped, pinned, couldn't move. Esipenko, head in hand, started to panic and started moving around. Look at how much the White Rook on that 4th rank moves now. The Black Rook's coming in. The White Rook just moved. It moved again, and here we cut in back where Hikaru just let it slip. He had a winning advantage. Suddenly, he found his queen almost trapped. She had to go the whole way across the board, and the White Pawn started to step forward. The clock's playing a huge role here. Esipenko has a key idea to counterattack, to go for the Black King, go for the Black Rook. But Hikaru showed off some great defensive skills. He kept his Rook safe, kept his King safe now in the corner, blocked a check from the White Queen with his Rook. And this was the key. The Queens came off. And after that, it was all about Hikaru Nakamura. The Rook clearly superior to the Knight. The pawn started to drop. The clock started to tick. The King coming forward. And here we see Andrei Esipenko pre-moved, lost his Knight, and had to resign.
Wow. That was a big win for Hikaru Nakamura. All right, online blitz chess is quite new. It's quite modern, but it's not nearly as crazy as what we're going to show you now.
So this is how we should shake hands.
Okay, shake it.
I decided to start with e4, and Magnus replied by trolling me.
I think I should move something on the side. That's easier.
Oh, no.
You have to queen the best.
That's fine, that's fine.
Made in my position first, no? Well, your position is totally messed up now.
That's fine, right?
I bring my knight out.
Oh.
We start developing pieces.
I am not confident at all that I'll be physically able to make this move. Now I'm just messing up. This is the worst idea we've ever had here.
I'm getting frustrating just watching that full video of David and Magnus playing tiny chess is coming up on the Take YouTube shortly. And round 9 is coming up very shortly. The action continues. Oh!
He's fighting so well until this last move. We've just seen the first blunder. Ooh, looks like a blunder from Mikalian. Alireza Firouzja now with a almost decisive advantage.
Oh, what's happening here?
And we've just seen a blunder from Fabiano. He forgot that there were knight forks in the air. There was a discover check against the White King. Fabi is just trying to flag his opponent. The black clock goes red. Suddenly Fabiano, head and hands, he knows he's blundered. The Black King, oh, the White Knight drops even, and there we go. And Fabiano wins with 1 piece remaining.
The bishop, oh my god! Oh, so fucking stupid! Oh, bro! That's so ridiculous by me.
Oh, and it's a blunder from Magnus Carlsen. Daniel Naroditsky takes down the world #1.
Witty Alien is angry Alien today, but still 3 rounds. Go Witty Alien, get some wins. Hans Niemann is playing, but he's had some losses. Alireza Firouzja is still fighting to win it. Jan Nepomniachtchi is definitely up there. Hikaru Nakamura is there. Magnus Carlsen has struggled a little bit today, but all the big guns are playing, and we're heading into round 9 out of 11. It's going to be Tong against Tabatabai, Levon Aronian against Alireza Firouzja. All right, Hikaru plays Makarian, Nepo against Terry, Magnus now up against Ashraf here in round 9. We're going to watch this one. That's not Levon Aronian, but he has the white pieces against Alireza Firouzja, 2 huge names in chess.
He does, and we briefly saw Sergei Zagalko, who's also been having a very, very good tournament, as I believe he did. He took on Hans Niemann in the previous game, but this is Levon Aronian against Alireza Firouzja, and this is the Caro-Kann defense. This is the exchange variation, known for its solidity. Not to brag, but my best ever win probably came against Levon Aronian in this opening, on the black side, in the Caro-Kann. And he didn't handle it too well that time, but I'm sure he's learnt a few things since then. So Firouzja now utilizing his favorite opening to try and win with black against Levon.
Fantastic to see Levon Aronian play in Title Tuesday. He makes his debut in the autumn split, and he's played fantastic today. He is on 7 points. Same as Alireza Firouzja, who still hasn't won a game week in the autumn split. He desperately wants it, and he has a huge chance today.
And in the meantime, a knight for bishop trade. This is what we call the Carlsbad structure. Black has a pawn most likely to be joined by another pawn on light squares. White, in the meantime, has pawns on dark squares. Very, very blocked. This comes from the Queen's Gambit, comes from the Caro-Kann, comes from all sorts of openings. As it feels like a must-win game for both sides. They definitely want this. They know they're chasing a very, very informed prodigy. And a win here for either side will see them have a great chance at gold at first place. As the white bishop retreats there, it has been hit. White has the bishop pair. Small advantage for Levon, but nothing significant for now.
Both players 4 minutes on the clock. There is no increment in Title Tuesday. At some point, these games do get very dramatic. This is round 9. We have 2 more rounds to go after this. Who will win game week 6? Would you be surprised to see Levon Aronian be the name on the top of that list?
I think before today I would have been, and especially after he lost to Hikaru just a few rounds ago, Levon. Very one-sided game, losing that one very badly to Hikaru, but the fact he's bounced back, the fact that he's in this position, it's always nice to start round 9 with white. I've played so many Title Tuesdays myself. You want 2 whites out of the last 3 games, and it just gives you better chances. You have more charge over your own destiny. It feels like the perfect opportunity as Levon clamps down on Black's play and prevents any queenside expansion here. The white king still needs to get castled. Levon is a very attacking player, very principled player. He loves to control the center, loves to build from a nice foundation. So the white bishop moves. The white king might castle in the near future. That is the foundations of an attack. The white knight could step forward. The black knight could get kicked back, and we could see a pawn storm. There we go. The white knight does try to step forward. Big threats of the white queen stepping back as well, followed by a capture of this black knight. Watch out on the light square diagonals. Some real threats in the air. So Levon Aronian, maybe some of us would have been surprised, myself included, winning Title Tuesday, but it's definitely a possibility this late into the event. Firouzja streaming looks a bit uncomfortable right now.
Levon Aronian, he is up here fighting with the big Title Tuesday guns. We have a lot of streamers playing today as well. Anna Crumling is playing. She's had a few wins, but also a few losses. It's been very up and down for Anna today, but so cool to see her play. Next week, she will be playing from here. She's coming to visit the Takes studios. She will be streaming and playing from the Dave Cave. We are really looking forward to have Anna Crumling here. Witty Alien, of course, is the one visiting the Dave Cave today. He's had a very up and down tournament so far, but we're hoping he's going to finish on a high.
Yeah, if he finishes on a high, we'll high five at the end. We'll play some Mario Kart.
Yeah.
And it'll be a lot of fun. I'm hoping he enjoys the experience either way. But Anna Kramling, that'll be super cool as well, having her here as a guest at Take. In the meantime, there's no guest pieces here for Black because it's the White Knight that's the real star of this show. So many tricks on this diagonal. If it ever opens up, the big question for Levon Aronian is now the moment. Do you step forward? Do you stop the Black Knight maybe entering this square? You could push the G or the H pawns. One of these two makes a lot of sense right now. Levon Aronian with a huge attack brewing. But you still need the breakthrough. Firouzja leaning back and forth, shaking in his chair, trying to get the energy going. He's under the cosh here. He knows he's under a lot of pressure. Levon, though, plays positional chess. Very surprising that he didn't go for the kill there. He allows the Black Knight forward. He's now blocked the whole left flank. The queenside is closed. The question is now for Firouzja whether to strike in the center. Normally, flank play is best met by a central thrust like this. Firouzja could also maybe swing his rook across, put some pressure on a backward pawn. He does the same with his queen. Watch out. There was a pawn hanging due to a pin. The white queen moves. And Levon Aronian, I'm going to say his position got better, but his clock situation got worse. So can Firouzja capitalize here? He can jump in with his knight. So many tempting moves. He challenges the open file instead. White castles. The knight does jump in, and this game is only heating up. So hard to make a prediction here. Anything could still happen between these two fantastic creative players.
But less than 2 minutes on the clock for Levon Aronian. Alireza Firouzja is playing fast. He is known for that. Hikaru Nakamura against Makarian. It's saying balanced on the bar. Actually, right now, Makarian is slightly better with the black pieces. Magnus Carlsen is much better with the white pieces against Ashraf. Fabiano Caruana in trouble against Tersakasyan. Nepo, winning position already against Renato Terry. Duda, much better against Barat.
Oh, and Levon Aronian, has he blundered? He looked like he grimaced there because bishop takes pawn is an idea in the position. Watch out, there are pins along the c-line. That white rook is only defended once. It could potentially be attacked twice. So here, Alireza Firouzja is weighing up the pros and cons of bishop takes pawn. The downside is you might see some exchanges. The white bishop is now potentially going to take this pawn to deflect away the black queen. There we go. As predicted, the black queen could step back. If you take the bishop, your bishop drops, and we'll see some trades. The one thing you cannot allow is a check on the back rank. I say it, but that is not quite checkmate, since the black queen can jump back, throw itself in the way. Here, Levon Aronian in huge trouble now. He's a pawn down, about to be more down, as Firouzja closes the door, makes sure the white knight cannot get back to that attacking post. This is going to be a very, very difficult defense now for Levon Aronian. He's only playing for the draw. He's got to knuckle down, dig deep, try to hold, but the black knight is so beautiful, putting pressure on an isolated pawn. Black has the extra pawn up his sleeve. This is going to be a huge winning opportunity for Alireza Firouzja.
And if he wins, he's going to be on 8 points and with a big, big chance of winning Title Tuesday Game Week 6. Of course, heading into round 9 in sole lead is the Chinese Tong, who is now... Oh, and now we have Lazovic joining him on 7.5 points after finishing his round 9 game. But we are, of course, keeping a close eye on Tong as well. With a win, he will still be in sole lead.
And he has a completely winning position on board 1. So more important for Firouzja to wrap up this game with a win to stay in the chase. This is going to be a long grind. Levon Aronian, his clock might be the biggest factor long term. Under the 1 minute mark now. He's desperately trying to hold. He's created what he's hoping is a fortress. He's just keeping his queen on the second rank with white, keeping his knight where it is. Hard to stabilize the knight, to displace it. Will Firouzja try to remaneuver around, maybe move his knight back to attack this central pawn? That is the key. The weaknesses, there we go, have to be threatened. The threat here is actually to drop the queen back and pin this white knight eternally. The white knight will never, ever be able to move for the rest of this game. Queen trade offered. That's also tempting, though, since Firouzja is a pawn up. But nope, he drops his queen back. And now surely he's going to have a great chance at winning. The queens do come off the board. It's 5 pawns against 4 pawns. Levon Aronian can only hope to draw this game. It's all about the clock, though. The white knight is such a bad piece for now, but it's starting to find better circuits. We see a pawn bypass the other. We'll see a pawn trade. Computer can't decide whether it's winning for black or not. It's very, very close between the win and the draw. But the black king is coming. It's going to make it the long way round. And eventually it's going to come into the white half of the board. It's inevitable now. The black knight is so dominant. This is winning for black. The king is going to come. And it's going to come into the position. I think Alireza is going to get this. He's got a few more seconds. He's so quick on the mouse. The check will drive the white king away now. This is a winning advantage for Alireza Firouzja, who... Wait, he repeats the position, Alireza, head to hands. He accidentally walks into a 3-fold repetition.
What?
And it's a draw. That is a miracle for Levon Aronian.
And he did not mean to do that, Alireza Firouzja. He was winning on that board. By mistake, it's a draw.
Yeah, he moved his king onto the same square 3 times in a row. And wow, that is... Yeah, that is clumsy. That is... really bad luck as well from Alireza. He knew it immediately. Head went to hands. Levon Aronian, that is a godsend. That is a get out of jail free card.
I mean, something that obviously can happen to you know, lower rated players like myself, but on this level.
Mm-hmm. I think he just wanted to flag. I think he was just trying to make quick moves, Alireza, to try and gain a bit of time on the clock, to try and slow down the opponent. But ultimately, he ended up repeating. And Alireza, he's going to be regretting that. Now he's 1 whole point off the lead with 2 games to go.
Yeah. Wow. Huge mistake there by Alireza Firouzja, who is now on 7.5 points. But look at that. Tong with a win in round 9. He is now on 8.5. He's in sole lead. He's got 2 players right behind him on 8 points. Makarian and Shimanov. And of course, we've heard of these players. They are fantastic chess players, but in a field like today, with Magnus, Hikaru, Niemann, Firouzja, Nepo, I could go on and on and on. Caruana is there. To see these players as the top 3 right now, that's surprising.
It's very surprising. Tong, as I mentioned, a bit of a new name to me. Makarian's a very strong young grandmaster, but normally very inconsistent, wins a lot, but also loses a lot. So he's definitely in a hot vein of form today. Shimanov, maybe most famous for being one of the players Magnus once turned up very late to in a Blitz game at the World Blitz Championships. And these are faces, that's not Makarian's real face, but these are names that we're not familiar with.
Yeah.
And looks like we might get a brand new winner in the autumn split here.
Wow. All right. We're heading into round 10. 2 rounds to go in game week 6. And we might see a huge underdog upset today as this game between these 2 players is about to start. We have Makarian with the white pieces. Tong in sole lead with 8.5 points, has the black pieces.
Yeah, the game starts life as a Catalan opening. So this is a branch of the Queen's Gambit declined. There we see Rudik Makarian. Tong playing it solid with black. This is a very, very trendy line. Black can now take a pawn, and the game starts to become very simplified if the white knight jumps forward to try and regain. Black can now strike in the center. Queens often come off this board very early. There we go. Queens off. It's an endgame already. I think both players are unsure. Should they play for a win? Should they keep it safe, bank it, play for a draw, try to get a prize? Ultimately, Makarian, he's trying to play minimal risk chess. He's trying to play old man chess against a fellow youngster in Tong here.
Yeah, both very young. Makarian from Russia is 21 years old, an international master, but on chess.com, one of the very best in online blitz chess, rated way above 3,000, one of the top 100 players in online blitz chess. He started out well in game week 1. He scored 8 points, but then few points for him, and I have a feeling he might be a rage quitter. There were 0 points, and then there were 2 points in game week 4. With his strength, maybe a rage quitter. He has 2 second places in Title Tuesday history, 3 third places. Today he's fighting to win it for the first time in his life.
Yeah, I'm surprised by this opening with queens off the board this early, very level looking. Because Makarian is quite a fiery player. That's why I'm very sure that he did rage quit. It's that type of style, that type of player. He goes all in. He tries to put heavy pressure on the opponents. Sometimes it works, sometimes it backfires. But more often than not, it leads to some fireworks. And this position, very odd. The black knight going back offers a pawn. If the pawn had been captured, the black rook, after some trades, would have got active on the b file. So instead, it's the white rooks that enter the open lines. And visually, it's got a lot better for white. Black's been really, really slow here. The one downside to Makarian's position are these doubled pawns. These doubled e-pawns are ugly. They're weak long term. But the white knight, beautiful. The white rook's beautiful. Everything else is perfect for Makarian as he trades off bishops. And looking very chilled here. Retreats his knight. He's going to start advancing his rooks into the position. Maybe his knight's going to go round to hit this weakness. Black has 2 isolated pawns now to work on. And Makarian, I think this is a dream start for him as he tries to overtake the leader.
Exactly. With a win here, he will do exactly that. Makarian. Tong probably happy with the draw with the black pieces here in this game. Makarian, he wants to win it.
Yeah, and Tong, he's been using his kind of underdog status as a superpower today. And again, this is a good tip for everyone at home. If you're playing against a high-rated opponent, there's 2 ways to do it. You go straight for their throat. It either works or it can backfire. Or you try to dig deep and just play for a draw. Tong did that against Hikaru. He was worse the whole game. Tried to knuckle down, make a draw. Hikaru overpressed. Tong's done that a few games that we've seen so far today. And he's trying to do the same again. He's just playing for a draw, playing for equality, trying to hold against Makarian. And he's going to hope that Makarian is so desperate to win that he overpresses. There we go. Really interesting move. It's all about the pins here. There's a pin on the c-file. The black rook is forced to defend its knight in the center. Therefore, this pawn is untouchable. You cannot take it off the board. That is really creative from Makarian. Using tactics in the endgame. Such a key thing. And it's a big bottle of water.
Yeah.
It's been hydrating. It's been good for him so far.
It was almost empty. He's been drinking his water today. He is on fire. He beat Hikaru Nakamura in round 9. And now he's fighting to win Title Tuesday Game Week 6. But up against Tong, who has played some fantastic chess today.
Wow, I was going to say, very interesting moment. The knight was sacrificed. I thought you couldn't do this. You drop a knight with check, but suddenly it's a double attack. Suddenly the white rook is hit, the white knight is hit. How do you save them both? The white knight can grab a pawn on the c6 square. The white knight can come in and take, but that knight will be captured. And when the dust settles, it will be level material in a drawn rook endgame. Eval Bar says still slightly better for white. It should be possible for Makarin to get an advantage here. Maybe he has to go pawn hunting with his rook on the other side of the board. But that was a very creative defense from Tong. A piece sacrifice in the endgame. Very rare to see. As we see things fizzle out now, it's going to be very, very difficult, though, for Makarin to win this. As the bar drops back down to total equality. If the pawn is captured in the center, Black's rook gets licensed to drop down and enter the second rank with some targets. This is going to be a draw, most likely, unless Makarin, his clock, comes back to haunt him.
And that should be a good result for Tong. With a draw, he will go up to 9 points, and there will only be 1 round left. All right.
This one should be a draw now. Makarin does go active with his rook. Will he grab a pawn? He does. Is he going to grab another pawn? Nope, he advances. The white rook can take, but it will come at the cost of another pawn. This one is fizzling out. White will have a pawn advantage, but it's only symbolic. It should not be enough to win. Tong has been so accurate. His defense has been so energetic as well. Not sitting back and just curling up into a ball. He's been defending with tactics. Very impressive.
Playing fast as well. Kempken is writing in the YouTube chat, "Good morning, everyone." Well, good morning to you too, Kemp. "I trust that there's been some good games." You are absolutely correct. There has been some really good games today, and it's not over. This is round 10. Several players fighting to win Title Tuesday Game Week 6. We have 1 round left after this one. And we have some underdogs really fighting. With a draw in this one as well, I mean...
Yeah, an underdog could take the title here. It's going to be tough for some of the other players like Hikaru, like Magnus and others to come back now. It might even be mathematically impossible if Tong holds this game. It's now 2 pawns versus 1. Most importantly, the 2 do not beat the 1. This black pawn holds both white pawns. No pass pawn, no win. It's that simple.
Hikaru Nakamura started off so well today, but we might be seeing a tilt. He's lost 2 in a row, and now Jeffrey Chong is massively better against him here in round 10. Magnus Carlsen is better in his game. He's playing Ilinka.
And this game could end any moment. Makarin has to be careful here. You can't press too much longer. Rook endgames are notorious for going on and on and on forever. And ultimately, you don't have much time on the clock. Makarin's about to bail out. He's down 40 seconds. Surely he's got to agree to the draw. And here we go. There it is. The 2 underdogs holding each other, balancing each other out there.
Wow. A draw there between those 2. Tong goes up to 9 points. This is round 10. Ali Reza Frouzja with the white pieces. He has less than a minute left here against Shimanov.
Wow, this is such a difficult position to understand. It looks like Shimanov has a tactic here. He must do. The bar says black is massively better, but black is a rook for knight down. Oh, this last move won't cut the mustard. The pawn drops now. Let's forget the eval bar. Alireza Frouzja is totally winning. He has a rook for knight. He has an extra pawn. Alexander Shimanov is about to lose this game. We see there with the hand gesture. He's about to resign. The clock is the only thing that can save him here. But an extra few seconds when you're this much material down is not going to help. The white rooks are going to line up. The infiltration is going to come with the white rooks stepping up the board. There we go. Rook trade. The white queen will pin the black knight in the near future, and that could be terminal for Frouzja. He's going to have a chance. He's only going to be half a point behind as the final round. In the final round, next time out. Oh, there we go. Severance tactic. Disconnecting the black rook and the queen. Rooks come off the board, and now the white pawn is ready to step forward and promote. This is just over now. Shimanov shaking his head. He knows it.
We're not trusting the bar in this game. Alireza Frouzja with the white pieces is about to win this and go up to 8.5 points. He will be half a point behind the leader.
Okay, Alireza, he did let his opponent off the hook in the previous game. Level Neronian accidentally repeated 3 times. Will that occur again now? It doesn't look likely. He leans back. Is he going to take the win now, Firouzja? Chatting away. All he needs is one more check, and that is game over. Shimanov looks so frustrated, maybe analyzing the game. He's about to let his time run out. Clock goes red. He's cursing away. It's over. No way he's going to save this now as the clock ticks down to 0. Alireza Firouzja. Was he going to get the win? He's going to get the win.
Yeah. Is it on the board or is it on the clock? Has Shimanov lost on the clock? Well, it is a full point for Alireza Firouzja here in round 10. He goes up to 8.5 points, right? No.
He'll be on 8.5. Tong will be on 9.
Yeah, exactly.
I believe we'll get an update to these standings very shortly.
Yeah. Some games have finished, so these graphics are not completely correct. It was a draw between Makarian and Tong. Tong is on 9 points, Makarian 8.5. Alireza Firouzja with a win is also on 8.5 points with a chance still to win Title Tuesday. Only one round to go. Will we see the huge underdog Tong take it, win Title Tuesday for the first time in his life? Probably his biggest win in his career so far.
By far, big breakthrough. Yeah. Every player needs a moment to announce themselves on the scene. I mentioned I wasn't so familiar with Tong, and I watch a lot of top-level chess, so this is definitely going to be his biggest moment, and a name to remember for all of us. We need to start learning some puns on the name Tong.
Meanwhile, in round 10, I can see that it's been a loss for Hans Niemann, and let's see, some technical issues. Magnus Carlsen, how did he do? He won in round 10, and here we have pairings for round 11. About to start, you guys. This is the final round of the super strong game week 6. We've had all the top players featured today, and now a few of them are fighting to win Title Tuesday Game Week 6. Alireza Firouzja, he's at a 2nd place. He's at a 3rd place in the autumn split. He is looking for that win. Jan-Christoph Duda is also looking for that win. He now has the white pieces against Tong with a win. Tong wins Title Tuesday Game Week 6.
Interesting start to this game. Tong gets a double black, which is a bit unlucky because his rating is lower than most of his rivals. He has to allow the rivals to follow their color pattern, the alternation of white and black, white and black. So Tong starts with black as he did in the previous game. He goes very solid. We see the Reti opening. There was an early bishop for knight trade. Duda getting the bishop pair very early and now trying to extend his pawns, trying to expand on the queen side. These bishops, for now, dormant, for now, not on great diagonals, but they have so much potential if the center ever opens. So this type of position, I've always loved it from the white side. It's got a lot of potential. There we see Duda with a very fresh haircut.
Yeah.
Trendy glasses too. And he knows this is a great platform, great opening start for him in this game.
He has to win it. Jan-Christoph Duda, if he beats Tong, he has a good chance of winning Title Tuesday. But Tong, with a draw, still has chances to win Title Tuesday. Other matchups here in the final round 11. Levon Aronian has the black pieces against Barath. Alireza Firouzja, black pieces against Makarian. Alireza, of course, also a chance to win it. Jan Nepomniachtchi, white pieces against Andreikin. It's Hikaru versus Caruana. Big American battle there in round 11. Magnus Carlsen up against Aditya here in round 11. Already much better. Magnus Carlsen, he wants to finish on a high. But this one, Tong, 16 years old, from China, with a chance to win Title Tuesday in a super strong field.
Yeah, incredible performance so far, but everything in chess always comes down to the last round. It's very rare to see runaway winners in an event like this. He's going to have to do it the hard way. Black against Duda is no easy pairing. And he's also going to have to save what is a very difficult position. Look, much better now for Duda. That's because Black has a horrible pawn in the center. An IQP, an isolated queen's pawn. That could well fall in the next few moves. The white knight now attacking the black queen. Watch out. If that pawn falls or if the knight falls, everything will collapse like a series of dominoes here for Black. Everything is hanging loose. We could see a rook trade as well. The black queen has to step back. But now, does the white knight simply retreat and gobble up this pawn? It's going to do that on the next go. There we go. Duda with a huge, almost winning advantage now. Tong, he's been so solid for so long, but he lashed out, gave himself a weakness, and is about to be punished. The white bishop is also going to be dominant over the black knight because it's pawns on both sides of the board, and bishops are such phenomenal long-range pieces.
Is Duda the one who's going to take it? Is Duda the one who's going to come here in the final round and take the win? Jan Krzysztof Duda from Poland.
There's always a spoiler, right? There's always someone who kind of creeps up. Duda started well, drew a game against Naroditsky, lost to Firouzja a bit earlier, but he could be the one. He just looks calm. And normally against these younger players, you can't let them get under their skin. Even if they're in great form, you need to stay calm, play very positionally. He's done that here, and you need to take the chance when it comes. Tong slowed down now. Long 1 minute think. He realizes he's in big trouble, about to be down this huge pawn in the center.
Jan Krzysztof Duda, the 27-year-old from Poland, Polish Fighter 3000 on chess.com. He's played all of the game weeks in the autumn split. He had second place in Game Week 3 as his best result so far, scoring 10 points. And he's won Title Tuesday 10 times in his career, 11 second places, 9 third places. It wouldn't be the first time for him, but it would be a huge win. He's been struggling with motivation, especially for over-the-board chess. But look at him in online blitz. Massively better here in round 11.
How does he wrap this up? The white bishop was pinned. That's the only downside for white right now. He actually supports the bishop with a pawn. I'm very surprised by that decision. I would rather have maybe moved the queen out of the way, tried to get the queens off the board. Endgame's totally winning for white. But he's still in the driver's seat here. He still does the same thing. There we go. He offers the trade of queens. He's not allowing a knight for bishop trade yet, because after a queen trade, there would be a calamity on the back rank for black. The black rook would be undefended. So here we see the black queen run away. The white rook will most likely step up a few squares. Still a bit of hard work to do. Still not over yet, but it's going to be a very, very powerful extra pawn for white in the near future. And Duda should be converting this. There's no excuse really for not winning a position like this one. No matter who you're facing, especially in the last round of a tournament. If you don't win this, you don't deserve to win the tournament. It's that type of position. And Duda, he's doing some last-minute calculations. He pushes his pawn forward. A bit uncertain, a bit hesitant there. He's going to most likely take back with a pawn in the center to keep the rooks on the board. There we go. The black rook now is a bit stuck. The eval bar doesn't like that decision, though. Very surprising. Duda still needs a breakthrough. Tong is low on the clock. I'm just wondering whether we'll see a last-minute shock. Surely there's no way Duda will mess this up. He's actually setting up a queen trade idea now. Very cunning from Duda as he steps forward with his rook. Oh, this one is so difficult to defend, but Tong is defended worse. Duda still hasn't made the most of his advantage yet.
Tong has been on fire today, and he needs to find the last bit of fire in him to fight back in this game and take his first ever Title Tuesday win. It's looking very good for Jan Krzysztof Duda right now.
It's looking good. One big threat. So step forward with the pawn has to be blockaded. Queens hate being defensive pieces, but sometimes it's necessary. Maybe the black rook now can free itself. Black is just waiting. Tong is just going to sit and wait and hope. He's going to pray that Duda can't find a winning plan. He's trying to kick away the white rook. He's going to have to step back sooner or later. There we go. The black queen is just going to move back and forth, and he's saying, you shall not pass. You cannot break through. But Duda can play this one on forever now. He's going to get in with his rook. Maybe a rook trade will help white. Rook trade, then queen trade. You have an extra pawn in the center. That is the mathematical equation right now. Duda's getting closer. Tong slowing down again. He knows that other results don't matter, Tong. He just needs to stay alive in this game. His tiebreaker is going to be fantastic. A draw, he most likely gets it done. A win, he guarantees it. But Tong losing on board and clock. He's frozen for over 30 seconds. He needs to make a move. He does slide the rook across, but now the rook trade guaranteed. Duda's winning now according to the eval bar. A rook trade. The white queen's going to step across. The white pawn is inevitable. It's going to step forward. This is just game over. The black queen is so passive. White has dominance, centralization. Tong is doomed. Duda is going to take the win and leapfrog him. Almost guaranteed now.
Wow. Jan Krzysztof Duda about to go up to 9.5 points. Alireza Firouzja, who's also on 8.5, is in a winning position against Makarian. So it's gonna, if that's the situation when we finish, it's gonna go down to tie breaks. Who will take it? Jan Nepomniachtchi is also on 8.5, and he's balanced against Andrejkin. It's looking very good right now for Jan-Christoph Duda and Alireza Firouzja.
Wow, anything could still happen in this tournament. It's all going to be decided in the next 2 minutes alone. Duda's trying to find a way through with his queen. He can't afford to trade yet because the black king is too near the pawn. And okay, he's banging on the door. He's trying to get the job done. But Tong is defending so tenaciously. He might have found the perfect setup though now, Duda. The white queen totally immobilizing the black queen. The white pawn so strong. And it's just about the white king coming through.
And it is a win for Alireza Firouzja. He wins in round 11. He is now on 9.5 points. That means he has a chance to win it. If Jan-Christoph Duda wins this game, it will go down to tiebreak between those two. If it is a draw, then it will go down to tiebreaks between Tong and Firouzja. If Tong wins, he is the winner. All right, what will happen? So little time for Tong, less than 30 seconds. Duda is ticking down to 1 minute on the clock. This is round 11, the final round.
Duda's doing everything right. He's been so patient. Now he can push his pawn forward. He didn't want to go for that. He's begging for the queen trade. He's creating a path for the white king to step forward as well. Is he now going to advance? Is he going to come through? The king is walking through the door. It's a very much open door now. Tong down to under 15 seconds. The Chinese prodigy is about to go to his first defeat. The white king is in. The white king's going to continue marching forward. It's going to advance the d-pawn. That is a new queen in the making. Duda the d-pawn is about to promote. This is game over. Tong to 9 seconds. The last few moves now of this all-important game. Duda's about to move his queen forward. He's about to make a new queen. It's game over. Tong resigns. Duda takes the win. Leapfrogs him.
Wow, what a game by Jan-Christoph Duda with the win. He goes to 9.5. He joins not only Alireza Firouzja, Jan Nepomniachtchi finishes with a win in round 11. He's also on 9.5, but on my live scoring, Alireza Firouzja is the player on the top. It looks like he is the one that will win Title Tuesday, Game Week 6, down to tie breaks. But Alireza Firouzja looks like the winner today, a deserved winner. Finally, after his second place or third place, he takes first place.
Wow, it looks that way. We'll get confirmation soon,
Yeah.
but it is well deserved. Duda, we were focusing on him there. He lost to Firouzja earlier in the tournament. So ultimately, Firouzja taking that point over Duda, that could have decided it. That was a few rounds ago. Nepo didn't play either of the other two, so he didn't have his destiny in his own hands. Dropped some points earlier in the event. Normally, you want to be hitting the front first. That gives you a better tiebreak. You play the stronger opposition. So many decisive games in this last round, by the way. But Tong, heartbreaking for him. But for Firouzja, this might have been it. He's been so close for so many times. Have we got confirmation?
I think we do. He's on top of the standings. We're going to call it. The winner of Title Tuesday Game Week 6 is Alireza Firouzja. Congratulations to him. Whoo, that was an intense Title Tuesday.
We were so close to getting some surprise winners. We had Tong, we had Shimanov, we had Makarian. In the end, it's one of the big guns. Alireza Firouzja, blitz specialist. He deserved it. He's been so consistent ever since we started this autumn split, the first 6 weeks. He's very much focusing on this as well. Now he dropped out of the World Cup. He won't be there. Trying to become world champion. He's focusing on Esports World Cup, Title Tuesdays, and that practice is paying off.
Yeah, we see 3 players finish Title Tuesday Game Week 6 on 9.5 points. 3 of the very top names in chess. Tong eventually finishes 4th with 9 points. It is refreshing to see new names up there as well.
It's always nice. Like, I mean, we talk about Gukesh, we talk about Prag, Erigaisi, all these youngsters. They were new names not long ago, just a few years back, pre-pandemic even. But here we're getting some new breakthroughs. Tong, that's a name that I'll remember for a long time.
Yeah. Maybe he made his mark there. Hikaru Nakamura ends up in 14th with 8 points. Magnus Carlsen, 8 points for him as well, 17th place. That was Game Week 6, and now we're hoping to get some reactions.
Here we go.
We have a guest. in the studio, you guys. We are hoping to get reactions from Magnus, from the winner Alireza Firouzja, of course. But right now, joining us in the studio is the Witty alien. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm having the best days of my life being in the studio.
I'm so glad to hear. And you finish strong today.
Could have been better. It was a roller coaster of emotions this Tuesday. But who won it?
Alireza Firouzja takes the win.
Yes.
It's been an incredible title Tuesday. So many of the top names.
Yes.
It was a tough fight. 3 players finished on 9.5. Eventually, Alireza Firouzja takes the win.
How did Magnus do?
He ended up on 8 points.
8 points.
He lost a couple games, so didn't have the best day. But it was a strong field today. Did you sense that as well?
Yes, it was very, very strong. But I'm sure he will play late TT and he will win it.
Exactly.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to get up your games here. I did see you had a winning streak of 3 games.
4 games, actually.
Yeah, so you finished with a win in the final.
No, I lost.
You lost in the final.
Yes, but before that I had 4 wins in a row.
All right.
I played 2 good games. The first one, if you wish, you can pull it. It was the second game. I played Martian Gambit against 3K. Then I was completely winning, but I managed to lose. And then I played Alien Gambit with 2 brilliants, and that was a small tournament. That would be great to show it. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Otherwise, it wasn't good.
We saw a lot of emotion on the camera. That you were frustrated and you were, banging the table.
Yes.
A lot of frustration.
Yes, because when you, for example, the second game that just broke my heart. When you invent a gambit and you play it against 3K, you're +5 and you lose. When you're in Take Studio, it's the worst feeling ever. I don't know how can I explain it. It's just. Yes, sorry about my emotions, but...
No, you never apologize for emotion. We love to see that. Hey, let's take a look at it. We wanna show you what you look like on camera. With
this.
My Gambit, I love it.
My legacy. My Gambit, my legacy. Come on, the studio makes magic. The studio makes magic.
I'm glad to hear. Something with the air in the Dave Cave, right?
Something in the Dave Cave.
So I guess this is Alien Gambit or Martian Gambit game.
This was the Alien Gambit game that I won with small tournament. It's in just like 17 moves or something. Yes.
Fantastic.
Thank you for showing it. I really appreciate you for having me. I'm just so happy right now. I'm just so happy. Yes, I have no words to explain how thankful I am that you had me here, because I'm a small content creator, and I had the opportunity to be with the legends like David Ho, with legend commentators like you, with an amazing team, and promote my gambits and stream in the Take studio when David Ho, the one knows streams, and to be welcomed by an amazing team, the best days of my chess content creation. I'm really thankful. Thank you.
Well, we are so thankful to have you here. You have such great energy to bring in here, and you even played with David today.
I don't play in 3 games.
And you now have on record that you have beaten David Howell.
That's secret.
Spoilers.
I'm just gonna say that he absolutely destroyed me. Yeah. That's the truth. But we'll see in the videos.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that video is coming on all possible channels, you guys.
Yes.
It's fantastic content. Now, you were here streaming today. You keep playing a few Title Tuesdays, but we've known you sort of announced that you retired from content creation. What is happening in life right now?
I made a big time mistake of quitting because I was burnout. I was dealing with all of depression. I was dealing with, unfortunately, very bad personal life. And I have, unfortunately, gotten migraines because of playing so much chess. But I'm taking medicine. I'm going to the gym every day. Look at
that.
I'm going to the gym every day, and I'm trying to eat healthy, and I'm better. And I want to apologize for quitting. That was the worst decision of my life, because the next day I absolutely hated it. It's just that during this time I was in so much pain. I couldn't sleep all night. I was thinking how to make it work. It was the worst decision of my life, and I really apologize for quitting. But I spoke 100% truth in my video. God Almighty is my witness. I'm Christian, and God is very important for me. But it's just that I shouldn't have quit, and I hated myself. I really hate myself so much. And when I see the video, I hate myself for doing it.
But it's fantastic that you talk about it, right? And David, this is an issue for many chess players, right? If not as far as depression, but just struggling with loneliness of playing this incredibly hard game.
Yeah, I mean, I've been there myself. Like at tournaments, you have a tough time, you feel exhausted, and it's so hard to recover. Maybe you don't have the right support network around you. I think it's good. Like there was such an outpouring of emotion with your fans. They were gutted. They wanted you to be okay. They only really cared about your well-being. So I think it's nice that actually it's become more of a conversation. And people now, they know they can kind of speak their truth, and they will get support. So I hope you feel better. I'm glad you're back, and
thank you so much. You're the best, guys. You're the best, and I want to thank my community for letting me back into content creation. I will never ever quit. Content creation is gonna be the last job I'm ever gonna do. I just have to take it easy and take care of my mental health.
Exactly. Super important. And then we can talk about the fun stuff, which is the future then.
The future, yes.
What are your plans, your dreams, your ambitions?
Thank you for asking. I'm so happy to be here. The future is, the journey is the reward, as Steve Jobs said. I'll just keep making content, keep promoting aggressive chess, romantic chess. I want to, just like you guys have promoted chess so much, you have spent so much money, time, energy to promote chess, and you're doing a fantastic job. I want to bring back romantic chess, and I want to bring back gambits. Like today, against Witty, I played g5 first move. I just want to, because in 21st century, when there is Fortnite, there is Netflix, there's so many entertainment, chess needs to be romantic, needs to be entertaining, and emotions have to be shown, and you just gotta be yourself, and I want to promote the game as much as I can, and be happy playing chess, yes.
Music to my ears. Music to my ears. Now, we talked about these gambits earlier today, David, that you also tried earlier today. Yeah. You hate playing them.
Yeah, it's just not my style. I've tried. I don't have the energy, I think, the bravery. I mean, you were brave in the Dave Cave. You were, you were throwing those pawns at the opponents. I love it. And it's nice to have role models of different styles. Like you said, like we've got Magnus, we've got Hikaru, who play more positional styles now, and we need that kind of spectrum. Chess, it works for everyone, and it's best if you kind of play to your strengths, play to your personality.
And you always say, right, David, that you have to find, players my strengths as well, find your style, and then find the openings that sort of suit that. If it is aggressive, and if it is all about gambits and sacrifices, then check out these openings, I guess.
Exactly. The main thing is you enjoy chess, right? And if you enjoy it through sacrificing, going for glory, then that's just a bonus.
It's all about creating art while playing chess. Yes.
Chess is art, science, sport, everything together.
It is everything together.
Yes, absolutely. Very truly said.
Yeah. Now, Bulgarian chess. How is that going these days? What's the interest like? Who are people rooting for?
That's a very good question. Unfortunately, there was so much bad stuff happening in the Bulgarian Chess Federation. There was people stealing money, and the federation was expelled from FIDE, I think. I think from FIDE, yes. So there were 3 federations right now. There is no funding for young talents. It's very, very difficult to somebody to pay you to go to tournaments. It's not very good, I'm not gonna lie. But there is still hope. There are a lot of young talents like Momchil Petkov, Stan Stoyanov, Nurgul Salimova. They are just cooking. They're just cooking. And I have hope in those young prodigies, but unfortunately, I have lost hope in the Bulgarian Chess Federation because they're constantly fighting each other. They're stealing. It's not fun.
All right. Yeah. Now that's no fun. But you have hopes of...
I have huge hopes of the young generations in Bulgarian chess, yes. And as I already mentioned, those names.
And what do you think about the state of chess in general right now? We have the youngest world champion in history. This weekend we saw this big exhibition match between USA and India. Of course, the esports the esports World Cup, and chess becoming a part of that, and Title Tuesday qualifying for that.
Yes.
How are you enjoying chess sort of taking this route?
I think chess is booming. Thanks to amazing you guys. Thanks to you, amazing you guys. You have done an amazing job. Chess has become more entertaining because of personalities. And we have Gukesh, the youngest world champion. The whole Indians love him. The whole world loves him. Actually, and it's very good for chess. I think chess has never been more alive, more popular. But once again, I think it's mainly because of you, of people like you that spend from Monday to Friday, working on chess, promoting chess, and being just promoting the beauty of the game.
Yeah,
it's all because of you. So thank you for what you're doing. What Take Studio is doing really warms my heart and makes me believe in the future for chess.
Oh, I love to hear that. Fantastic. Who's your favorite player?
In the future or in the present? Or
in the present.
In the present, Magnus Carlsen, not because of his chess, but his personality. I think he's very, very. He speaks all his truth, and I don't know. I just love his personality. I don't understand his chess much, but I think his personality is just amazing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, fantastic. Witty, I'm going to keep calling you Witty.
Yes,
I think it's such a... How did you come up with that name?
My friends call me Witty, and I love space, and I love when I play chess to be reminded about space. Yes.
So that's why all the openings are named after...
Yes. Alien Gambit, Martian Gambit. Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Witty Alien is the one streaming from the Dave Cave today. Had a good tournament finish with a loss, but had a
Alien Gambit.
Yes, a 4 in a row streak at some point, so that's fantastic. We're also joined by Jan Nepomniachtchi, who had a fantastic tournament today. Jan, congratulations on finishing. Did you end up in third, I think? Second. Congratulations with second.
Yeah, big success. Thank you.
How are you?
More or less. I mean, trying to play some decent blitz, and combining it with streaming is always like challenging for me. But looks like lately I'm trying to manage to combine without like major drawback in my chess. So I mean, at least today it was like this.
Well, definitely. 9.5 points, almost a win there. When you end up on the same score and you basically lose the victory on tie breaks, is that a good situation or is it a little bit sour?
Well, I mean, to be honest, like I mostly play to stream it, yes. So, I mean, either way is like much better than, let's say, last week. Then I was leading and then lost last 2 to Hans and Hikaru. And this was a bit frustrating, but I don't really care that much about like the final standings. So it's more about like showing some decent chess and not being, too ashamed with what I'm doing. So one game was just awful against Xiao Tong. I was like sure, like I'm going to win it easily, but okay, like in 3 moves I destroyed my own position, and then I got like a bit lucky in last round. So, but I mean, once again, it's not like main thing that matters. Is like there. I mean, the result is always matters in any competition, but here I'm mostly playing once again to stream and then entertain the audience.
Well, we love that. Is qualifying for Esports World Cup also a part of the motivation? Of course, you scored 7 points today on the Champions Chess Tour standings, and that can turn out quite important if you want to play in Riyadh next summer.
Yeah, I definitely want to play, but I also know there is like a couple more ways to qualify, let's say, which are a lot more controllable, like in a way Speed Chess Championship or let's say Champions Chess Tour, I think, yeah. So like Title Tuesday is always like good to get some extra points here and there. But however, I'm like a bit optimistic about my chances in other tournaments as well. So okay, we will see. We'll figure out once it's done.
Yeah. What is your focus, your goal, your ambition these days, Jan?
Well, obviously qualifying for the candidates. Mm-hmm. So, like, sadly, I'm not showing like great chess in classical this year, and also I can't say I have like too many opportunities to do this, since I got nearly no invitations whatsoever. So, like, the Grand Swiss was like a major tournament, but I mean, it's a bit like too dependent on the pairings and on the color. Like, so let's say Pragnananda made a fatal grave mistake in the opening ceremony, so he picked extra black like for himself and for me because I was number 9. So I think it in a way it also influenced a little bit to like overall performance, because I think like there were some statistics that in all the Grand Swiss tournaments, first places the first places were always like taken by people who had like an extra white. So this is like, I mean, this is always important even in the round robin, but let's say in Swiss it's also it really matters. So like either way, like now it's like the World Cup approaching, so I have like my main like goal preparation and motivation like to play there well. And also like it's a tournament I have never won, and I didn't play particularly well there. So I think my best result was top 16 when I think lost to Witty on tie breaks 2 years ago in Baku. Mm-hmm. So yeah, hopefully I will try to improve. So let's say like hitting top 3. I mean, it's like really hard, but I think it's quite realistic. So we will see.
Yeah. Well, World Cup, of course, the big chance to qualify for candidates coming up in about a month's time. Are you feeling optimistic, energetic, positive heading into that, or how are you in general?
A lot of things happened, yeah, but yeah, I mean, like, there is no reason to be pessimistic, yeah. So, but once again, in chess, normally you need like some part of like healthy optimism, yeah, like, because if you don't have it, I mean, it's way more difficult to play, to be honest. So yeah, I would say, I mean, it's quite doable, but once again, I have to try hard, like, and to work a lot to get in, like, let's say rating wise, at least in classical, to get my rating back and get like in my best possible shape. So that's what I'm focused at right now. So we'll see.
That's fantastic. Is Title Tuesday a part of that, finding your fantastic form? I mean, in this format with no increment, we are definitely seeing, the best of Jan Nepomniachtchi, the genius that Magnus Carlsen has described. So are you getting some positive feedback from playing Title Tuesday?
Uh-huh. Well, normally for me, I think 5-0 is more, I mean, this overall better format, because like 3-1, I'd say like a lot of people, they play like really well having like seconds behind and just using the increment time. This is like a big, of course, this is like very special mastery, very special skill. And I mean, I don't think I'm like too good with playing with like whatever, like 0.8 after each move left on my clock. But I'd say overall, given the fact that I'm playing more fast than like the vast majority of my opponents, of course, it's a bigger factor than in any time control with the increment. Yeah. So all in all, I think this suits me more, like in terms of like scoring more points, and I don't know. But also like 5-0, like is quite a bit of a time to think. Yeah, and I mean, in my case, I shouldn't like blunder too early, like lose too early. So at least keep all the mistakes, all the like one move blunders, still like the last 10 seconds. So at least it could be. Sometimes it won't be punished, yeah.
Of course. Jan, final question. The background, the stuff on your wall. There's a sword and there's some other like very like warrior kind of stuff. What is that?
That's like my big like one of my favorite games, the World of Warcraft and like the Warcraft universe. Overall, so this like basically like the Firstborn, like the sword is the Firstborn, which would be well known to someone who played Warcraft or World of Warcraft at least once. And the glaive, I mean, also this green thing is the war glaives of Azinot, I believe, and also this is, I mean, some legendary weapon from the World of Warcraft. So okay, I mean, I occasionally decided to not like become a big collector, but just decided to have something like this. I mean, like at least several years ago, I thought it's funny, but now I'm not so sure. But it all started with like the Firstborn, which I think was a gift from my friend, like whatever, for a New Year several years ago. So okay, I thought, why not?
Super cool. Warrior inspiration there, Jan. Congratulations on your second place. Hope to see you next week as well, streaming and playing, going for first place, I guess, next week.
I'll do my best. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, bye. Have a good one.
Likewise. Jan Nepomniachtchi takes second place in Title Tuesday Game Week 6. It's won by Ali Reza Forougha, who finally wins the Game Week in the autumn split. This was Game Week 6. We've also been enjoying the Witty Alien streaming. Volin, what's in the near future for you now?
In the near future is to do better content, to make people laugh, to spread peace, love, happiness, and to meet more wonderful people like you, because meeting you guys motivated me to work harder on content creation, to promote aggressive chess, gambits, and that's it.
Fantastic. An inspiration to us. Peace, love, and happiness, David.
Yeah, I can promise I'm going to play some gambits. Next time I play online, next time I stream, you've already inspired me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, David. Thank you.
Fantastic. It's been such a fun Game Week, you guys, and it ends up with Ali Reza Forougha taking the win. This was game week 6, and these are now the Champions Chess Tour standings. Magnus Carlsen still in the lead with his 23 points, but Alireza Fruja is coming for him now, 22 points, gaining 10 points today. Hikaru Nakamura is in third, and we now see Duda, Nima, Nesipenko all inside that list of players who qualifies for the Esports World Cup. Jan Nepomniachtchi is right outside with 7 points, but we still have 7 game weeks to go in the autumn splits, and of course winter and spring split coming up as well. We hope you will be back with us for game week 7 in exactly a week. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Oh, what's happening here?
Oh, and we've just seen a blunder from Fabiano. He forgot that there were Knight Forks in the air. There was a discover check against the White King. Fabi is just trying to flag his opponent. The black clock goes red. Suddenly, Fabiano, head and hands. He knows he's blundered. The Black King. Oh, the White Knight drops even, and there we go. And Fabiano wins with 1 piece remaining.
The bishop. Oh my god. Oh, so fucking stupid. Oh, bro. That's so ridiculous by me.
Oh, and it's a blunder from Magnus Carlsen. Daniel Naroditsky takes down the world #1. The Black King is now going to march its way over, and suddenly White is winning. Hikaru Nakamura's blundered. The White pawn is going to promote in the corner. It's all about the A pawn right now. Hikaru has let it slip in his winning attempts. Tong only has a few seconds left. He cannot stalemate though. Here we go. Hikaru Nakamura is done.